Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Long three, Cherubino misses it, and the rebound tapped by Duke Joe on the floor. Forward is Hoiberg down the floor. Skip pass left side. Sanford three ball. Got it. Ringo. 50, 45, 39, 6-point lead.
This is what memories are made of. The break even to Mazakia. He got him swinging. Kevin Manel pumps his chest and locks things down here in the ninth. Nebraska is 2-0 here in 2026. Single and hit by pitch given up. 1-0, Chesky unloads, and that one is long gone.
Why bunt when you can hit dingers?
Called strike three. Jordy ends it, and Nebraska wins it 3-2. And they take down number one Texas Tech and beat Nigeria Kennedy.
Good morning. Welcome in Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Next Gen Male Medical. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. What's up, DB?
How are we doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm just wondering why Shane doesn't take advantage of giving the network a little love and grab network audio.
I got what was available.
Oh, man, why bunt when you can hit dingers? Well, you weren't listening to old Benny Mack.
That is a pretty good
Nick Hanley.
It's a pretty good line, though.
I bunt when you can hit dingers.
It's kind of my life philosophy.
Sounds like something Nuno would say. He had a gaff this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was so, I always listen to I'm Over It.
Mm-hmm.
This was very, very, I think we've all, I don't know if we've all done this, but I know Shane has because his game is really suspect.
Mm-hmm.
Nuno was trying to compliment, he'd taken a $28 Uber, which was a little more than he thought it was going to be, which I don't get because usually it prices it out for you.
Yeah, they tell you.
Before you go there.
Yeah.
But anyway, so he'd taken like a $30 Uber and went to this sports bar kind of club, or this club place. And it was a Stevie Nicks cover band, Shane.
Okay.
Oh, I'd be all about that.
So he was disappointed because it was $20 at the door, but he was like, shoot, I just blew 30 on the Uber. Like, I'm pot committed now.
Yeah, you're in.
And so there was a young lady at the ordering a drink. And he tried to compliment her. He's like, hey, those are flowers on your dress. Like, I really like that. She looked at him, took a sip of her drink, and she was like, yeah, they're roses. And so he lost his mojo. And Michelle was trying to get him, some lines to recover. And then he said her mom leaned over and was like, it's okay. We knew what you were going for. It was just
That's
funny.
so much worse. When the mom is like, hey, good effort. We're really proud of you for giving that a shot.
Get him, bud. Yeah, so I was laughing hysterically in the parking lot.
That's
one of my favorite.
That's a pretty good one.
It's one of my favorite little things to stay and listen to. I didn't go with any music this morning.
It's all right. We know what you were going for.
Yeah, just
no music today?
No.
Good mood, bad mood?
No, it's good. I mean, it was I didn't do much this weekend. Spent way too much time in Lincoln yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's 7-on-7 practice, and I don't know if I'm ready for that world.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, was an old 90s band. 80s, late
7-on-7?
Ready for the world.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I do not recognize the 7-on-7 name at all.
Yeah.
I don't recognize Ready for the World either, so that doesn't
yeah,
it doesn't make a difference, I guess.
No, I don't think that would be your speed. Although you may have heard a few songs like "Let Me Love You Down."
We're gonna take a look here.
Never really mattered too much to me. I used to say that Tony Veland looked like their lead singer when he was in high school.
I kind of see that.
I was like, oh, got your big ready for the world little flat top curl. Yeah, so nothing big. I mean, the weather was fine. I bet Saturday I sat outside on the deck for at least a good 4 hours.
Yeah.
So it was cool. It was just like see something and go pick it up, like some raggly leaves or, a tilted old potting plant or something I had blown in the yard because the grass is so ugly.
Oh, yeah, it's rough right now.
I'm just trying to do the best I can optically to not look. So, I mean, and as a heck of a sports weekend. So,
A lot going on.
Yeah. Most importantly, Carolina got a win without Caleb. No, that wasn't the most important thing, but
No, it is important though because they got to stay in a competitive.
yeah,
seed.
you're trying to get seeds.
Yeah,
man.
you're trying to stay in a competitive seed so that when he comes back, you got a fighting chance.
So I whipped up a couple of steaks for Breeze, and then I repurposed them last night for Phillies,
Ooh, okay.
and they were incredible.
I do love a Philly.
Like
Phillies are great.
I don't know why I don't just wait a day and make them the next day all the time. Much better than when I do it. Set the Traeger on fire, so that was good. Now, why would that be funny?
I was laughing at the chat.
He wasn't laughing at
I might have been laughing at what you said.
He's lying to you.
Yeah, I should set that thing on fire.
Especially early. I keep a pretty good eye on the chats, not till later that it gets away from me sometimes. He wasn't laughing at the chat.
Do I
Nothing's
need my
going
glasses already?
No, nothing's going on there yet. People
Oh.
are just saying hi, doing their morning pleasantries.
Hi.
It's like we all meet at the coffee shop in the morning, and everybody's like, "Hey, everybody, how we doing? How's your weekend?" Like that's kind of the most.
Just sitting around chopping it up.
Yeah, there's
Where
like,
they still read newspapers.
yeah,
And like four grown men that have just maybe done some real hard labor, like actually rest and can all sit at a table and not be uncomfortable.
yeah. It's
So,
like,
are you jealous? You've seen that, right?
oh no, when I lived in Ashland, they had a table at the Casey's for this. I think they brought it in specifically for those men, and there was 4 of them that would come in because I'd come in and like get breakfast or something.
Yeah, and if it was me,
On
and
my
Shane,
way to
Shane
work.
wouldn't sit next to me. Look at I was weird, but
They would sit
those
there.
guys could do it. You don't
their-
think you could give in, Shane?
They sit there with their coffee
No, I passed that.
and a donut and their newspapers, even though it was like 2016 at the time.
I don't know if I would do a big donut. I don't know if I would be a big donut breakfast guy.
I think a couple of them were donut guys.
I get it. People eat donuts at breakfast.
Mhm.
Donuts for me would be a dessert.
Sure, yeah, I get it. I mean,
Like I wouldn't eat cinnamon rolls in the morning. I would eat them at night.
stylistically, they tread more
They
dessert.
make their hay. They make their hay in the morning.
Some people are sweet breakfast people.
Yeah.
You know?
No. So Zach, I didn't go to the Hoops Classic because of Nebraska and Creighton basketball. I thought about the late games
Mhm.
just so I could watch West Side and North Star,
Yeah.
but that's the first time I missed that's the first time I've gone in a minute.
Yeah, I mean, our guy Jacob was out there all day.
Yeah, I was teasing him.
I think Austin was out there most of the day. Yeah, you're giving Jacob a hard time.
Listen, I think Hurrdat was like 7 deep
Yeah, there was a bunch of people out there. Yeah.
doing.
I don't know. Did Sauter end up going out after the Nebraska game?
I don't know.
Because he was talking about it.
So this is I don't even know if we text.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It was it was a good weekend. Lots of good coverage. JP and Austin were all over it.
So Shane, did you keep MLB with your phone package?
They haven't
They haven't done it yet.
they haven't done it yet.
Oh man.
But
I
I'm
wonder
looking
if
for it,
paying
so if you see it,
'cause
let me know.
I just logged in.
Oh, it won't like you get the year, but it won't like renew until I think March. I think March is when they start
Oh,
to
so
do
I
the,
wonder when I did.
Like
I do
week
it last
before,
month?
yeah.
You must have. I did last for the T-Mobile or whatever deal.
Yeah, I definitely. Camera work was real sketch, but it's okay to watch Nebraska baseball.
Oh, well, so that was free yesterday, I think.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
and
Or all weekend, but yeah.
So, but I must still have my account.
Yeah. But you don't have to be paying to as long as you've got the account.
Yeah. Hashtag free login.
Yeah, no, it was I didn't
It
love
was
the
definitely a time to listen to the boys.
Yeah, it wasn't a
So I had Boomer going on in the background listening to baseball. I was getting my updates from Benny Mac. Although I asked him a real long, drawn out question, I might have been doing too much.
Did he ignore you?
He didn't respond.
Wow. Come on,
Very unben like. It was kind of philosophical though. It was about pitching. Coach Childers.
Where are you at on the we didn't hear anybody give us better than 3-1, and most people were at 2-2 last week.
Yeah,
They got 3 already.
Yeah, it's impressive. They'll win today too.
Yeah. I mean, there may have been some pee-pee tucking going on earlier.
Oh, I think with Nebraska, people just aren't in the know yet.
Okay.
I think. And I was optimistic just because I like the staff's potential.
Yeah.
Now, listen.
Well, the Bats are getting after it. I mean,
we're 3 games in.
Yeah, still.
And it could fall apart tomorrow. But like I said, if they stay healthy, they have plenty of arms.
Yeah.
Plenty of arms. So
You think people are more concerned about the lineup?
Yeah.
That was not a problem.
Yeah. Well, and it's weird. I mean, am I already going to fast forward to
I mean, was 28
Arlington?
28 runs in 3 days?
Yeah.
That's aggressive.
You know, so I don't want to already fast forward to Arlington.
And it is early. I get that. You know, other teams' pitchers aren't quite, you know, sometimes teams kind of ramp up a little bit with their pitchers. So I get the early scores can be deceiving.
Yeah.
But that's a good start.
And that was my first softball group text of the year. So
I'm
happy about that.
No, it was a good weekend for the Nebraska softball team. Got
Fantastic.
their second win over a different number 1 team in as many weekends.
Yeah.
We'll take that.
I was asking yesterday, I was like, and I think the Georgia loss will age well, right? So you got Tennessee, LSU, Washington, and
Georgia. Yeah.
But you've got Texas and
you got Texas and Texas Tech. Yeah. Which, I mean, I think because Georgia's like 20 right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I don't think that's gonna be bad.
And I wanted to, I don't know her, so I couldn't really shout her out. But I was like, go Harley, because that was, you remember Jess's cousin was the one giving her the insight on the transfer catcher from Vegas and Farrell.
Mm-hmm.
And she was, Coach! yesterday.
Good looking out.
Yeah. The field looks so chewed up this week, and I was like, I don't really love the way that it looks on television.
They played a lot of games
but
out there.
They were out here. Like, the coverage is, I mean, the sport is officially like,
yeah. Yeah, they played a ton of games out there. Like, it's hard to keep, especially this early in the year.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep a field looking good.
And we thought it was ramping up. I remember T. Mose and I, because he's an Oklahoma honk.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we were in Fayetteville. So that had to be 2018, 2019 maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And holed up in the hotel watching softball. And it's better now. And that was 6-7 years ago.
Yeah.
With their coverage.
Yeah, the coverage has become much better. And, I mean, you were right. I think you said this Friday. The television product is really good.
Yeah.
It's an underrated television product for sure. And I think people have started to realize that.
It's one of the
it's kind of like college volleyball.
A handful of sports that translate.
Like college volleyball, you've seen really ramp up in terms of like large broadcast coverage in the last handful of years.
Yeah.
I think they finally realized, hey, these are very appealing television products. We should probably put these on our airwaves.
Yeah, Sat, man, that's going to be the thing is them defensively, particularly in the infield. The outfield is significantly better defensively, but they're going to have to shore it up.
Rico, knock it off.
Inside. What?
He's being childish. Yeah. Stupid.
Who'd I see do that after a basket? I was like, you guys are too old for that.
Softball was doing it at one point over the weekend.
I saw UCLA do it.
No, Nebraska softball did it a couple times.
It might be a softball thing then, because UCLA was all in on the whole.
Softball is like that though. They have these little.
Oh, I know. Believe me.
Like trends and rituals and whatever.
I have a 7-year-old and they do chants and I cringe at every chant. So it's very, very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Nebraska. And I was like, and it was kind of early, and I said, hey, can they win a game by double digits with 20 turnovers? You remember that text?
Yeah, apparently.
I was like, oh, I guess they can.
It's no problem. That game was weird.
Well, Northwestern had like one bucket in 10 minutes.
Yeah, that game was super weird.
It's a bad basketball.
Oh,
team.
It's awful.
Watching them on offense.
Just dreadful.
And they were making everything for 3 quarters against Michigan, and I was like, how?
Yeah, that was all their season's worth just stored up in that 130-minute stretch, and that's all they had left.
Hey, how about your boys?
Which ones?
Oh, you'll know, and I can't believe how you sit here and wax poetic about their offense. It's this, it's that.
Don't hit me with UConn. I'll smack you.
Oh, even worse, Michigan State.
Oh, come on.
You love that offense.
I like how you just take the thing that I say and then turn it into the exact opposite.
I don't know who you're talking about. Why are you in love with me? I mean, did you not watch them this weekend? Like, what are they doing?
You going to talk about how much I love the prowess of Tom Izzo coaching, too?
Now I know you're all in on Izzo.
That dude cannot. I mean, it makes me. It's infuriating to watch.
Wow, it's like that.
Yeah, because listen, it makes me so mad when you have capable players and you can't figure out a functional offense, especially with a point guard. Like you've got a real point guard, and you can't figure out a single way to look.
Friday night, they couldn't get any stops either.
Well,
so then you look at the stat line and you're like, oh, Fears goes double-double. You're like, oh, it wasn't too bad. No, it was. No, it was
bad.
To watch.
It was. It's awful to watch.
I don't think Kohler got his first field goal until
it is
second half.
Man, I cannot even explain to you. Well, he only had, 5 for the day?
Yeah, and I don't think he scored his first field goal until the second half. I
cannot explain to you how infuriating it is to me to just watch bad offenses because it's not that hard to figure out. It's really not.
Okay.
Like you may not – here's the thing. You may not.
Are you thinking to yourself, man, if Wisconsin could look formidable on offense, so I mean, Michigan State should be able to?
Part of it, yeah. But also, it's not about the actual – it's not about how many points you score. Because I can understand you just don't make shots. I get that. That's a thing that happens. Maybe you didn't recruit the guys that can make shots. But to be incapable of looking like you are getting open shots at this level with that level of athlete.
Everything just looked really, really difficult.
That's the thing that drives me crazy. I understand some people are just not going to be capable of making the shots. That's honestly been the best argument for keeping Hoiberg around as long as people did, because they always got open shots. Yeah. Always. And you're like, well, that guy can't make them, but they're open. And it wasn't like, oh, he's open for a reason. Like, he got guys open consistently. He always has.
So you got help from Michigan State, Nebraska still sitting in a really good spot. I was listening to DeCourcy on Saturday.
Mike?
And he and we've talked to him all the time, and I used to work with him. So I say this with zero disdain. Mm-hmm. He can be tough. He is like, he's pretty no nonsense when it comes to critiquing. So
what was I watching him? Oh, it was halftime of the Nebraska game. Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he can go in.
He was going in.
So I mean, he likes him on the 2 line still.
Yeah, he's been pretty aggressive on them. He was the first to put him on a 1 earlier in the year. He's been pretty bullish on Nebraska's seeding.
The path for a 2 is interesting though, because you're going to need a little help.
Yeah,
you
probably need. Well, so Purdue is the one ahead of them. Like right now,
Illinois acted like they were going to give you some help, and then they were like, "Yeah, no,
they did not. They changed their mind."
I mean, that was a heck of a 10 minutes.
I think Purdue might be the most gettable of the ones that are projected 2 seeds ahead of them, because it's Houston, Illinois, Iowa State, Purdue, and then Kansas is right. Kansas and Nebraska are basically tied for the top 3 seed in bracket matrix. So
I almost nailed the number for KU, Iowa State.
Yeah, what did you say?
I think I said 15.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And then
ends up being 18.
Was it Maddie that said how the way KU's been playing lately?
Well, I mean, you know what happened.
Oh, here we go.
My guy Darren Peterson just decided to show why he's the number 1 pick in the NBA draft. Here's what I love about Darren Peterson. Here's my favorite thing about him is, when he's not scoring, which, didn't have a good shooting night. Happens to everybody, right? Just 3 for 10. When he's not scoring, at least he brought a ton else to the table. Let me check the box score here. Wait a second. 0 rebounds, 0 assists, 0 steals, 0 blocked. He had 3 turnovers, though. So as many turnovers as field goals. Way to stat sheet stuff, my guy. That's who I want with my
I have a question.
That's who I want with my number 1 overall pick, baby. Let's go.
So
what are we doing?
I never got to the
I
hate the way that I sound.
Only played 24 minutes, by the way.
Am I good here?
So Melvin Council played 34, but
isn't he wild?
Darren Peterson's just like, nah, I'm tapping out at 24 because we're getting our head kicked in.
Were you guys watching real time when Council airballed that pass out of bounds, and I go, Council?
Yes, yes.
I was like,
I know.
At no point did that have a snowball's chance.
Not a chance
of being caught by anyone. He threw it into the seats,
dude. So somebody the other day was, I think it was one of the Field of 68 guys, like Doster or Goodman or somebody was like, hey, Peterson is like the flashy one, whatever, but counts as the one that shows up when you need him. And he'd gone 6 for 24 that night, so I like quote tweeted something snarky. And
that's where he was kind of finishing around the lane.
Yeah,
that was the big win against Zona.
Yeah, but he was 6 for 24, and I was like, do you ever really need somebody to go 6 for 24?
Why is it every time he puts the ball on the deck, you think he's gonna lose it?
Because it seems like he's gonna lose.
He has those long arms.
He's very loose.
Handle.
He's very loose.
Just like
yeah.
But I still think Kansas is good, though.
That's fine.
I mean, I'm not going to let one. I've been saying it for a month, so I'm not going to let one game.
Yeah. No, but you think Iowa State's good, too. So, like, it's.
Yeah. Although they show their warts.
Yeah.
I love Lipsy, but he still can't shoot.
Not a lick.
And it's just really hard sometimes, especially in college. Now, it's almost impossible in the NBA. When your primary ball handler can't shoot,
it's tough.
It's tough. It's tough.
It did not bother Villanova and Caden Lewis at all that he can't shoot.
Hey, do you know who we don't talk near enough about?
Who?
And I asked you if you put him in the blind resume.
Who's that?
Nick Boyd.
I didn't. I only did 5 guys.
It was Wisconsin, man.
I might do a different section later. Like a different blind resume later, but I only did 5 guys for this first go.
Yeah, it's a heck of a weekend for Nebraska sports. So I'm like, let's go.
No, it was a strong weekend. Got the 3-0 baseball.
Yeah,
softball's doing well.
It's a lot of baseball. I like this time of year. I do need winter back. Is that a hot take? No pun intended.
That is a hot take.
Yeah, I'm sick of the weather already.
Yeah, I'm okay if winter we're done here.
Dry.
No, that's wet outside right now.
Is it? No,
yeah, I mean the ground was wet when I came in. I don't know what happened there.
What?
Dew, probably.
That thing wet.
Excess spat.
Probably dew.
Dew.
I don't think we're getting dew already.
I don't know. It was like 70 yesterday. We might be getting dew.
Don't matter to me.
Well, it has more to do with the atmospheric pressure, I think.
I don't really know. Dew's a mystery to me. I don't know anything about it. Sometimes I just wake up and the ground's wet and I'm like, did it rain? It's like, nope. Okay,
Yeah,
well,
I need.
I don't know what's happening here then.
I need winter back.
Nah, we're cool. It's going to be
And-
in the 30s later this week.
And I know. I can't wait. But
Like
it's not
that,
till
like,
Thursday,
ugh.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
I think Thursdays it starts. I think it starts on Thursday. We got.
I hope so, because I want Saturday in Lincoln for practice to be cool.
Oh no, it does cool off Thursday, but it's not 30s until Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Yeah, can I get some snow?
No, don't do that. What are you
I
doing?
want these guys practicing in the cold.
Why? Why?
It's a mindset.
Big no hoodie gang, huh? Right?
Yeah. No
I
hoodie
hate
game.
that.
I just need balance. So
Okay.
it doesn't necessarily have to snow. I just want precip so we're not in a drought. I'm just not interested in seeing things incinerate when you snap your fingers. It's awful dry. Be tough for burns.
Like Lil Johnny, he said, "Boy, snap your fingers, do your step.
He's so overrated.
You
but
can
it's
do it all by yourself."
Okay.
Kobe's getting after you already.
Kobe's foolish.
He said, "You need winter back? What an awful take."
We're different.
Built different. DK says Kansas loses in the first weekend.
I mean, that's not a hot take.
I mean,
They're very capable.
and they have a history.
Another good take by Ravi, another bad take by DB. I like the cold. Well, of course you.
What?
Never mind, Juan. Because you'd think I wouldn't like the snow either, but I do. It's fine. We're just
Yeah.
going to move on.
It's fine. I wouldn't worry about it. See, Todd liking winter, that makes sense.
Yeah,
I think.
We need balance, you guys. Don't you
I
watch
don't-
all these dystopian,
I don't need balance.
like apocalyptic, weather went bad movies?
Yeah, I don't think like one more week of 30s in February is going to save us from the world burning.
I hate your delivery.
So in the meantime, I'm just
I don't appreciate the condescending tone.
I'm going to try and be comfortable. It's
I
like
just can we just get a just doesn't even have to be a legit winter. Just drop the temps, give me a little snow, get the grass ready to be green.
I'm just saying.
What do you have against balance? Why do you hate balance?
It can be like 40, 50 and just rain.
Sure. I'll take that. I don't need 50s yet though.
40s.
No, because when you're a homeowner, you worry about things. You're gonna laugh.
I'm listening. I'm
You
listening.
don't do anything around your house. So what do you care?
I'm listening. What do we got?
You have to worry about insects.
Yeah. We didn't get a hard enough freeze for the insects to go all the way.
Yeah, man. I don't want to be over.
But we're past that.
Vest.
We're past that. Like, here's the thing.
Birds. Don't you guys care about birds? Birds get confused. They don't know whether they're supposed to be coming back.
My dogs get confused with their coats. They're like, wait, am I supposed to be shedding? Am I not supposed to be shedding? With the freeze.
What do you have against balance?
Here, I can get you with the freeze.
The soil.
But we are past the point where you're going to get a hard enough freeze to kill off the insects. Like, that ship has sailed.
Oh, speaking into existence, because I hope it flipping backfires on you. I hope we get like 10s in 2 weeks.
I'm just saying, didn't stay cold for long enough for us to kill off the insects.
Yeah, kill them things.
I mean, I'm here for that, but that ship has sailed. We are past that.
I don't know. I mean,
I'm pretty sure we're not getting like 2 straight weeks of zeros here. Knock on wood.
I don't know. He's hot, Dane. See, I was trying to get to this Friday hot, but Ravi wouldn't let me.
What?
I even sent the meltdown of the interview to Shane, and we never got to
Which one?
Pootie Tang. Or Jerome, Coach Tang.
Oh, we can get to it. He got fired because of that meltdown.
So when I sent it to you, were you just like, this dude's being weird, or did you think it would snowball to this?
I didn't think it was going to snowball to him getting fired for cause.
Because I was like, this is a weird presser.
No, it was super strange.
And it's K-State, so I didn't think it was going to be like a national thing.
I also understand.
So I sent it to Shane, and I was like, we need to talk about this. And we never got to it.
I also, I understand. I've been a part of some teams that struggled, So I understand you're in a tough stretch there.
Thank you, Bruin Steve. He's very rational.
Some weird things can come out there, and you start saying some crazy things. I didn't think he was going to get fired for cause. Like, that's wild. Do you still have it, Shane?
Yeah, you want to play it?
Yeah, go ahead and hit it.
This was embarrassing. These dudes do not deserve to wear this uniform. There will be very few of them in it next year. I'm embarrassed for the university. I'm embarrassed for our fans, our student section. It is just ridiculous. We got practice at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. Right now, I'm like pissed, and this is.
And he said he'd take 2 questions, and then he got up and he left. That didn't seem very fireable.
So
I don't know. 71 and 57. He went on the heater.
Yeah, he got fired for technically there's a clause in his contract that says in basically anything that brings any sort of embarrassment to the university, which is the most subjective clause in a contract I've ever heard.
The epitome of rhetorical from my man KBJB Hour.
Maybe, I don't know.
I think it's rhetorical. I mean, come on, Kobe style.
I just can't believe that they're actually. I mean, they're going to get sued. Like, this is going to court.
They're going to lose.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. It's $18.6 million, but you're going to have to give up some. You're going to be
coughing up
some of that.
They're going to cough up some kind of a check.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they're getting out of it scot-free, but they're certainly trying to get out of as much of it as can. It's a weird thing. The Jerome Tang experience has been incredibly strange.
Because outside of the heater with George and those guys,
he's been very bad.
But still 71 and 57.
Yeah, I mean, what
do you have against the Periwinkle?
This year has been particularly bad, but it's been a precipitous slide since the Elite
That's
Eight.
a lot of P words going on. Yes, Jeff, we've got G Sharp on this morning. Jeff, he will be on at
9:30.
Chitty. And the Mavs are starting to get right.
Yeah.
Will it be too little? You can't win the regular season summit,
yes.
But you can be a problem in the postseason.
Well, that's sort of the good and bad thing about being a one big league, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know. You want to be Miami of Ohio?
No, not at all.
Ooh.
But if you're in a position like Omaha is this year, where you've struggled all year, you weren't healthy for a lot of this, and you're finally starting to get right, then it's great to be in a one bid league because nothing in the regular season really is going to hurt you come tournament time.
Yeah.
Right? Like you still got, you got to win 3 games to get into the tournament, just like always. right? So what's happened up to that point isn't really detrimental.
Yeah, so I don't know. So this morning, do we go – because I want to get back to Coach Tang in a second. Do we go with G-Unit? I gave him all these nicknames except for Franklin. We got G-Unit, G-Funk, Franklin. Franklin was very weird how that came around.
Yeah?
Yeah, but then I just used to drop Franklin on him sometimes. Or
Yes, you did.
Or are we just going to go with Sharp?
Hey, it's Franklin.
One thing I never say is Gary.
Gary?
So you don't have to worry about that. You know what you need to ask him?
What's that?
Ask him why this dude brought cookies to a fight party.
When was that?
And like he brought cookies to a fight party.
You have a real problem with cookies, though, to parties in general.
Are you not going to have my back on this?
Because we had this discussion about a football party like 2 years ago. And you were,
why are you bringing up old stuff?
Because you were killing somebody and you're like, who's eating? I was like, man, after you get the mains and stuff, you're like in the third corner. You're like, man, I could use a little sweet treat.
Oh, man.
Ain't nobody mad about the guy that brings cookies except you.
You a big cookie guy?
Yeah, cookies are great.
I just think, how can I say this?
You're about to say something bad, I can tell.
I just think when you're in a room that is dominated by testosterone, cookies should be an afterthought. Is that safe?
I don't think so. Like I think
I'm not saying dudes can't eat.
I think dudes like cookies.
I hate your delivery.
Can we put that, Austin or somebody, can we put a poll up on Hurrdat Sports? Can we say, do dudes like cookies?
Dudes like cookies?
Is that a thing we can do?
What's underrated about bringing cookies to a watch party?
Because here's what I'm saying. All right, let's just, I'm going to paint a picture for you, DB. You're going to the watch party. You know, you get there, say, half hour early, right? You're going to buddy's house.
That dude ain't coming nowhere. He's not getting anywhere early.
I'm not saying everybody's getting there a half hour early, but maybe you start snacking a little bit.
I need a cookie.
You know?
You have kids. It's understandable.
You start maybe snacking a little bit. Then the mains get brought out. Maybe it's a burgers and brats situation here. You start eating those by about, first quarter, midway through the second. You're done eating your kind of main meal, right? And then you're kind of sitting. Halftime comes around. You're like, I could eat a little bit more. You like going back to the brats at that point? Or you're like, maybe I get a little more snack, maybe get a little sweet treat. Everybody's okay with that. Nobody's mad about cookies in that instant. Cookies are the perfect treat in that spot. And you know who's everybody's happy with? The guy that brought the cookies. Like, I didn't even think about cookies. Great call, Gary.
Dude, he took them back home.
Well, that's a tough look.
And he took the beer. No, I didn't want the beer.
That's a tough look.
Mosman may have wanted the beer.
I'm saying, like, once you bring something, unless the host explicitly tells you to take it home with you,
you leave it, right?
You leave it there.
Okay.
Listen, bringing the cookies, not a problem. Taking the cookies home, not great.
So, like, what? So, if Shane, I just want to see where you draw the distinction.
Okay.
So, I'm like, hey, fellas, let's say it's a birthday party. All right, just come on by. Right, get a card game going. If Shane shows up with, like, everything but bundt cakes, is he cool? Or do you draw the line between
birthday party and a watch party are different things? Those are different things.
This ought to be good.
Well, first of all, at a birthday party, that is for a specific person, right? So whatever you bring should be catered to that person. I come to your birthday party. I brought you something I knew you liked or would like.
Sure did.
Right? Sure I'm not going to bring.
Wait, Kobe, you're a bundt cake guy?
Bundt cakes are pretty good. They're pretty good.
Dude, I'm not even going to hold you because that is like Caleb's go-to.
But a birthday party is a different situation than a watch party. A watch party, you're bringing something for everyone there to enjoy. A birthday party, you're bringing sort of a gift for the birthday person.
So no real difference between cakes and cookies?
Not in my opinion.
What if it's not a couples thing? What if it's just all dudes?
Dudes like cookies. Dudes like cookies. Here's the only distinction I will make is finger food. Make it easy to eat. Right? Cookies are easy to eat. I'm not trying to sit there and like cut a cake at a watch party. But if they're little individualized things, I'm cool. I just don't want to have to. It doesn't need to be a whole thing.
Okay.
You start cutting cake, then we're kind of into like a different territory. But if they're individually
Hey,
wrapped,
can you hand me the spatula?
yeah, I'd just be like, this is a wedding? What are we doing? We need like a
I'm just trying to get a gauge on where your mind is at.
I'm not going to be mad about the cake, but we might be doing too much at that point. If it's individually wrapped, though, I don't care if it's a cake or it's a cookie or whatever it is. I'm cool.
Shane, would you bring cake?
Might bring brownies.
Oh, jeez. See, that's what I'm talking. We're definitely drawing the line at brownies.
I don't know. Brownies are pretty good, man. I'm just saying, if like Natasha rolls up somewhere with brownies, nobody's mad. Not a soul. I don't care what the event is. Here's the other problem with bringing cake to a birthday party, though, is somebody else may have the cake covered. Like, you got to arrange that. That's a planning committee situation. You can't just roll up to a birthday party and be like, I brought the cake. It's like, no, we had cake here, man. What are you doing?
What? Juan is. I can't deal with the chat.
Brownie.
How old did Juan say he was? Mid-20s?
I don't remember. I can't remember how old Juan said he was.
TK is a fool. I'm done with him, too.
Kobe, brownies are elite.
Kobe here? Kobe, big dessert guy?
Listen, I think.
Oh, DJ, cupcakes. Cupcakes. You might not be able to get in the house.
No, cupcakes are a great dessert. They're individually wrapped. They're easy to consume. What are you talking about, man?
Oh
What's wrong with cupcakes?
I'm not interested in watching you just pick the cupcake out of the little flour paper thing so you can like worry about crumbles.
So watch the
TV. Dude,
if you're not trying to watch me, watch the TV. It's a watch party, right? You don't gotta watch me eat my dessert. That's a you problem, DB.
All right, listen.
What are we talking about?
We've been to some watch parties.
Yeah.
Now, at what and I mean, listen, I'm serious. Keep it a buck.
Okay. Yeah.
At what point do you feel good enough to roll up with cupcakes?
Knowing you, like in what point in like?
Oh, so it's a me thing?
No,
I'm
asking you what point of what are you?
It's Crawford Porter.
Okay.
Real example.
I mean, I'm not bringing food there because we were at a restaurant.
That doesn't count.
Okay. I would have felt comfortable with Natasha bringing a dessert, yes.
Why are you deferring?
Because it's different if I bring like a store-bought thing versus like, hey, my wife who's very good at this put this time in to bring you guys something. That's a different thing.
No, she would let you off the hook because she's high quality.
Exactly, yeah. And nobody's going to be mad about that.
I want to go back to the original
You want store-bought?
You sound like people in my house.
I'm more
the
like.
The question was, at what point do you say to yourself, I'm bringing cupcakes?
For me, it's different for a person's house versus a public space, even if the public space is closed.
All right, let's say you're at the house.
At any time, I'm cool. I'll do whatever.
So you're coming over.
Not for your birthday, but for a watch party. I wouldn't have done it for a birthday.
So you're coming over and you're like, man, I'm going to grab the cupcakes.
I mean, not for you because I know you don't like them.
No.
But if
just
anybody
general,
else is,
just
yeah,
in general.
Absolutely, no problem.
Marinas is like, hey, man, come on out to GI. I'm lonely.
I'll probably do cookies.
You're like, hey, man, I'm going to bring cupcakes.
I'll probably do cookies over cupcakes for my preference, but I don't have a problem if somebody else does cupcakes.
I think you're fibbing.
I'm not at all. I've brought cookies to stuff before. It's an easy win.
No, it's cheap, and you're not even cheap.
No, but I am like convenience. I'm not making something. If I'm going by myself, I'm not making anything.
Hey, guys, I brought cookies.
It's better than like chips and salsa in terms of laziness.
It's better than the 2-liter guy, but it's not better than chips and salsa.
It is definitely better than the 2-liter guy. You're right. The guy who just rolls up with a 2-liter.
2-liter guy sucks.
There's been parties that I've gone to, like people having get-togethers, where I will legit ask them, hey, what's our soda situation here? And I will bring soda just for me. Like, hey, is there a spot I can just kind of like hide this in the fridge?
Juan, this is no cap. Like, I don't want to sound like a 12-year-old. Juan, I'm not joking. Like, I'm being serious. If I had like a stream party over, let's say we had it here at the house or whatever, on the back door, at the back porch.
Dude, Funky Giblets has got his life right. I just want you to know that.
Dude, Giblets is a stud.
Yeah, he knows what he's talking about.
But what did he say, though?
He said he'd roll up with brownies and some ice cream. And I was like, yeah, that's my guy.
I could see, like, testosterone feel. You guys are like shotgunning beers and drinking tequila, and you'd have your White Claw. And I could see dudes being hype about brownie's an ice cream.
Brownie's an ice cream would be good.
Like I could see, oh, hey man, like
that's a good call.
He may be out right now though. I'm gonna have to get back to Jibs. Juan, this is no joke. Considering how I've listened to you talk about food, I would ask you to bring one of two things.
Okay. Ice.
Wow, no. I have ice. Like,
no,
I asked Juan to bring ice.
Because TK just said in the chat, the guy that brings 3 bags of ice is elite.
Ice is elite. I will give you
That's
that.
What, yeah, it's right there.
Yeah, but it's you said.
You asked if you weren't talking about Juan. You said if I'm going to ask you to bring something.
Not Joe Good. You're still Rob. Joe Good can say that.
Juan?
I would ask Juan to bring either like something birria,
okay,
or salsa.
Okay.
I would.
Oh, you meant Juan specifically. I thought you were just using him as like a shit.
What's wrong with your hurrying?
My hurrying?
I said if I asked Juan.
I thought you were using him just like an example of an everyman. I didn't know you meant him specifically. Like his
ice. That's a good pull. Ice way greater than cookies.
Depends on the situation.
Oh,
ice
is clutch.
No, it is clutch. I'm not denying that at all.
Ice is clutch.
And a lot of times people underestimate how much ice they're gonna need. So like it's a good call.
I hate wasting money, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I counted probably $28 in my cooler. I keep a cooler on the back deck.
Mm-hmm.
It has a variety of drinks.
Yes.
I didn't get it out in time for the cold burst, but it is now thawing. A lot of burst drinks in there.
Oh, no.
3 bubblies, couple of frescas.
That's tough.
Ice, the bubbly drink, exploded. I had, for whatever the reason, there were like 2 dill pickly beers in there that we must have got from Nebraska Brewery. Burst. But guess what held strong?
Anything with alcohol in it?
The glass bottle of lousy Svetka, which I don't know who bought that. It was not me, but it was just fine. But I'm cleaning out the cooler. It's the water, melted water is like pink and purple.
Yeah, it's got all this stuff in it.
There's Kool-Aid squeeze packs in there. I'm like, this is a goddamn debacle. So I'm out there with the Clorox.
Yeah,
I'm like, can I turn on my hose yet? I want to just hose the whole cooler down.
Yeah, I don't know what the rules are there. I think if it's warm enough, you're good to go.
I'm out on Fresca. I am all in on ginger ale.
You know who loves Fresca?
Jay.
Our guy, Matty D.
Like Fresca?
Loves Fresca.
Yeah, like I don't know. I think it's a West Side thing.
He was like the first person. I don't think I had Fresca in my whole life.
Shane, do you remember how we went through the stretch? This is so ridiculous. Sorry, Rico and AJ. Remember how we went through the stretch where we couldn't find Fresco like right during and right after COVID?
Yeah, there was some sus moments
and we were
there.
like trying to find it online. We're like, I think Fresca's gonna disappear.
Oh,
and
yeah,
it is back on and popping.
It is back.
Yeah, I'm just telling you. I know you know the garage code, but if you bring cupcakes, I'm changing it. And you ain't getting in. I'm not even kidding you.
I'm gonna start randomly just bringing you Fresca.
Who brings cupcakes? This dude said, "Oh yeah, man,
Dude, cupcakes be great."
No, they wouldn't.
I wouldn't bring them to your house because I know you don't care for those types of things. But like in a general situation,
all right,
nothing wrong with cupcakes.
So your boy Jermaine is having a watch party for the guys down at the station.
Sure.
You rolling in with cupcakes?
Is that his house or is that the station?
Can I just ask what the difference would be in your thought process?
Unless I'm specifically told to bring something to a public place, I'm not going to. If I'm going to somebody's house, I will always try and bring something.
All right.
That I don't know if that's a weird distinction but it just is in my brain.
It's fun. I see where everybody's head's at this morning. Clearly, I'm in the minority.
Yeah, it's all right. I think other people. I think your view on desserts,
meats, cheeses, dips, drinks, ice.
I think your view on desserts is skewing how you think everybody else feels about desserts.
I am entirely open to that.
I think that's what's happening here.
I don't even like ice cream, Juan. I'm not even. This is not a hot take. I'm gonna get crushed.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I can't wait to hear this.
Top 5 overrated things that people crave. Top 5 overrated things that people
I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help you here.
Is ice cream.
No, absolutely not. You're out of
Hot take.
You're out of your mind. Ice cream's incredible.
I don't get it.
Ice cream is incredible.
You don't even. How can something be incredible? And this is not. I mean, I'm not trying to get to you druggies, but how can something be incredible that you don't even have to chew? It's gone.
How do you feel about tequila?
It's sensational.
Okay. You chew a lot of your tequila?
Depends on after how many. I chew on the ice. Touche. Good point. But I'm not talking. That's a good pull. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Ice cream's pretty good. That's all. It's my only point. Ice cream's pretty good.
I'm talking foods.
Well, what's the difference?
Effort.
I mean, a lot of people like milkshakes. You're not chewing those.
Do you crave milkshakes?
You like mashed potatoes, don't you?
I do.
You chew a lot of mashed potatoes?
I feel like that's a little bit of a sticking point.
Why is that?
At least it has. It's ice. Like ice cream is elite.
Ice cream's really good, man. Also, like if you like,
do I chew my water? Kobe actually. All right. Kobe's he's really stretching the boundaries of our friendship.
I mean, if you're not waiting until ice cream is like melted, there is substance to it. I would say it's about the same level of substance as mashed potatoes. A lot of people love mashed potatoes. You don't really have to chew mashed potatoes.
You see why?
There can be chunks in the ice cream, M&Ms, that sort of thing. So there can be a chewing aspect of it.
Juan, I love grits.
Not a lot of chewing.
I love grits.
Not a lot of chewing on grits.
B Jizzle. So Zoe's, was it her second birthday party? Second or third was at Graylee's.
Oh yeah, I don't know that I've been there.
Oh yeah, it's right down the street from Sauced.
Oh,
and the Cheese House.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, we she had a birthday party.
I don't spend a ton of time in that part of town. Not anymore.
Yeah, I love grits.
I used to more. Grits are great, man.
And it's not gonna surprise you. Like if you were gonna say, all right, DB, we're gonna ice cream this thing out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm rocking with.
For ice cream?
Yeah.
Do I?
I bet. It's my favorite flavor.
Your favorite flavor?
Yep. Easy breezy.
Mint chocolate chip?
I hate chocolate.
I know you don't like chocolate. I'm trying to figure out what your favorite flavor is.
Vanilla bean.
Oh, you're just going old. You're just going
vanilla bean.
Listen,
give me like legit caramel.
Vanilla beans,
not the kind that tastes like quasi butterscotch. Even though butterscotch is fine.
I'm not a big butterscotch guy. I know what you mean. Like real caramel.
Yeah, vanilla bean.
Vanilla bean's elite. I'm not going to fight you on vanilla bean.
That's it.
Yeah, I think vanilla bean's really good.
In Arrowhead.
Yeah,
they had like this ice cream deal, and everybody topped it with like these crazy toppings.
Oh, people are doing too much.
Yeah, like gummy bears don't belong in ice cream.
I'll agree with you there. I like that's for children. I don't need that.
I like, but good vanilla bean is T-Mac. God, I hate you. I saw a dude on TV that had the Reptile Expo.
Yeah,
brought it to Cold Blooded.
Mm-hmm.
He was giving me T-Mac vibes.
TK says snowy vanilla bunny brand.
You guys, I get it, and I'm not interested in TK's mouth because what he's gonna say is, DB, you open yourself up to this. But you guys are just doing too much.
I agree though. People need to chill on the toppings.
Yeah, just vanilla bean and caramel is elite. Now, but if you brought me ice cream to like the Super Bowl party, I'm gonna be like, Why?
So ice cream's a different thing because then you're assuming storage. Like you have to consider these things when you're going to people's houses.
So's ice.
You know? Yeah, but
ice is elite.
But you know you need ice. Like everybody knows you need ice at a party.
So it's like Jeremiah Smith.
Carol, you're dead on. That's a great one. She said my go-to is Culver's vanilla with cookie dough and Reese's peanut butter cups.
So I had my first Culver's experience about a month ago.
They got great ice cream.
I'm definitely not going for the ice cream.
You should. I think it's technically custard. It's very good.
It was a fish sandwich.
Oh, Natasha likes her fish sandwiches.
And while the seasoning wasn't, it was a smidge bland.
Mm-hmm.
It was immaculate.
Yeah.
And it was a fatty boombalatti. It was not some
Babalati?
minced piece together.
No, it was like a whole chunk of fish. Yeah.
It was sensational.
Yeah, that's one of the ones she likes. So she's Catholic, so she does the Lent thing.
Yeah.
I
am also the guy that brought seasoning to a restaurant because I knew I wanted fish. Most people in feeding the masses do not season their breading in fish.
I think it depends on the place, but yeah, generally speaking, I think you're right.
So I brought a seasoning blend of my own.
They're aiming for the middle
place that my sister wanted to go for some ungodly reason.
Unless you're going to,
I sprinkled it on, and my mom looked at me and she said, "No, you didn't." And then I did it anyway, and I gave her a bite, and she said about 10 minutes later, "Huh, that's a good idea."
What kind of seasoning was it?
It was a blend. It was Tony Chachere's and a little bit of and people either love it or hate it, but it's I can't remember. But I put it in a little food package.
I had a friend that used to bring a certain hot sauce everywhere, like restaurants, cafeteria. Yeah,
it's fine. You can say it. I mean, you look.
Do you know what brand it was?
Like, this is gonna sound horrible. I can't even say it. Like, okay, so like, brother, or like, yeah. What? I'm sorry.
What do you mean by like?
It's fine. I'm sorry.
If I told you that a brother brought hot sauce everywhere he went, just what is your initial reaction of what the hot sauce is? Because I think you're going to get it right.
I'm going to go with Louisiana.
Oh.
Don't say Red Devil. That's about
Frank's.
Oh, yeah. That's a brother.
That's one of the
That's a, yeah.
Okay.
Frank's.
To be fair.
Frank's.
To be fair.
That's definitely a brother.
He grew up in McCook.
Weird. Yeah. Wow.
TK says, you mean like Rico DB?
No, I got crushed for that. I just asked a question about swap. I thought it was Puerto Riqueño and other. I did not know it was Puerto Riqueño and black. That's all.
TK says I used to keep that Cholula strapped on me.
Cholula is good.
Tim Boyd said Cholula all day.
I'll rock with Cholula.
I think Cholula is very popular with the whites.
Yeah, Frank's is not good. I'm just saying, like,
okay,
Frank's is not good.
That was his go-to. It was Frank's everywhere.
Anyway, before we get to Sam,
yeah.
I have a couple of things. We have some housekeeping to do. Number one, can you set the lineup?
Yes. Coming up on the show today, Sam McKEWON at 8 o'clock. We've got at 9, Ryan Roberts from A to Z Sports to talk a little NFL draft. And then at 9:30, we'll talk to the voice of Omaha men's basketball, Gary Sharp.
All right. Shane, did you get Kyle for this week?
Yes, we have him tomorrow.
Oh, that was fast.
Yeah.
When did you text him?
Right when you told me to.
Yesterday?
Yeah.
Look at that, Shane doing what you asked. That's impressive.
Okay, I lied. I waited on it like 10 minutes because I was watching NASCAR.
Were you happy with Reddick?
Hey, he's all right. Yeah, that's fine.
Team MJ, baby.
Yeah, it's fine.
MJ, outside of the Hornets, not bad for what he touches.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I get they didn't win a lot of games. He did make like $2 billion on that sale, so it's still pretty good.
He grew the franchise.
Still pretty good.
All right.
There's definitely worse ways to own a business than to raise its value by $2 billion. I get the basketball wasn't great, but the business was okay.
All right. So we have KC for this week.
Yep.
And I think we should be good. He's gonna bust his baseball cherry.
We got to he's going down to Arlington.
Yeah.
And then
I want KC to like tell us how the sausage was made and how he dropped the hammer in our meeting last Friday.
Oh, what happened?
Oh no, dude just ran the show. I was like, okay, KC.
I guess.
First down, Huskers.
Did he hit the like, hey, look at me. I'm the captain now.
No, I'm cheering for him. Dude, he's a stud.
Just win, baby.
It's funny.
Yeah.
But he's mean-spirited like you too. But then he'll tell you the same thing. He'll say, it's all love. After he cuts you at the kneecaps. It's all love.
Listen, nobody ever wonders where they stand with me.
It's fine.
That's important.
It's fine. Yeah, he is, Carol. He's got probably, I think, 20. I'll let him tell the story. It's his story. But
yeah.
I think he's got 20, 25 baseball games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about, it's half the year, basically.
So in this like weird little secret they had, you need to go. I'm going to get you the audio. I'm going to tease this for after. Because they had KP on last week. And I'm gonna tease the audio. I'm going to tell you what KP said about one Kyle the Goat Crooks.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Oh, it's good? Okay.
Yeah. It's very Kentish.
Yeah.
But it was good.
There you go.
We call that a tease.
Well, that's a great tease. Next tease is we'll have Sam McKEWON coming up next, right after the break.
Sam had a nice little write-up.
Yeah?
Even my mom screenshot it for me.
Oh.
It was only because Caleb's name was in it, but other than that, it was fine. She said, see, even Sam knows. And I said, Sam, ? And she screenshot the article. I said, you go, Mom. You still read the paper.
Are you guys going?
But she likes Sam.
There you go. We'll talk.
Crystal is nice little pull. Crystal is fine, but you need the one that has the little cayenne on the bottle.
Oh, okay. I've never even heard of it.
And the least surprising thing ever, you said Frank's.
Crystal hot.
I'm still
sauce.
laughing at that, by the way.
Oh, I had never seen Crystal hot sauce before.
Pete's is good. There's lots.
Maybe
my sister will have hot sauce shipped.
Yeah, when you just say just Crystal's the only answer, I tend to go TK. I'll be like, let's not take meth, guys. Let's avoid that.
No, the kind that goes on your eggs.
I don't know how people use crystal meth, as we established earlier.
Do you put hot sauce on your eggs?
No.
Do you? You looked at me. Like, you're not just about to just talk to me like this all day today.
Absolutely not.
No.
Why would I change now?
I'm going to need you to grow up.
That's almost certainly not going to happen over the next 3 minutes.
Not a chance.
Don't like our chances there. We'll be right back with Sam McKEWON at Hurrdat Sports Live.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's my responsibility and our responsibility as a staff to help them navigate that. And, it's not easy for us either. But, 28 hours ago, 30 hours ago, whatever it was, Josh was speaking at his mom's funeral. So a 21-year-old, shouldn't have to do that. And he was incredible. He's a pillar of strength, I think, for his family during a very difficult time. And for our guys to see how he's navigated this and handled this and shows up every day without any excuses has been pretty incredible. But I've talked before about how young people, like me as a coach and our staff, we take losses, we hold on to them longer than players. We don't get over the loss until you play the next game. Players have a way. It's they played AU basketball where we got beat at 11 o'clock. Where are we going to lunch? We play again at 2. So you have to get over it pretty fast. This is going to be harder to get over.
we let their pressure and defense really dictate what we were doing early, and we weren't getting into our flow of our offense, and we got stagnant, and that's when things were breaking down. We were getting turnovers. Credit to Northwestern. They always play really hard, have a great system, and I thought they put us in some tough situations, and we have to be better at handling that.
Yeah, it was huge. We gave up 49 points. Still like to see some more activity from, myself, but, Sam and Kale were great for us, and I thought we were much more connected than we have been in the past few games. And that was a big emphasis in practice leading up to this was, defensive communication. We're really good defensively when we have that, and not very good when we don't. So, going with that, with the checking out and rebounding, which was much better today as well, it all went into it.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Next Gen Male Medical. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. We are efforting one Sam McKEWON from the Omaha World Herald. But you said you had a question.
Oh, this is dumb, but I think Tim brought it up in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
I did this at practice. I was trying to break the it was very tense.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very tense stretch at Westside. So I was going around periodically, and I was like, hey guys, doing a straw poll. Like sometimes, I'd ask Tristan Albano like what he had for breakfast, or Braylon Warren, hey man, like was that cereal any good? Like I'll just off brand, get your mind off of it. So I asked our players if they stopped production tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
and you could only eat one brand for the rest of your life, are you going Hostess or Little Debbie?
Which one's the Christmas tree cakes? That's Little Debbie?
Yes.
Little Debbie.
Wow. You're all about powder, don't like.
The Christmas tree cakes are so good.
Sam, how we doing this morning, buddy?
Great. How are you?
Good. Can I ask you a silly question?
Yeah.
If they stop production tomorrow, and you're all fit now, so neither's not an option, but if production tomorrow, and your household had to function, would you ride with Hostess or Little Debbie?
Little Debbie. Yeah.
What's the win for Little Debbie?
My wife likes the oatmeal cream pies.
That's what.
Yeah.
So that's what the players said.
Oatmeal cream pies are great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Little Debbie for the win.
Little Debbie for the win. That would be the. Yep. She has. Yeah. She likes those. So. That's like the only sweet she eats too. So like that's the oatmeal cream pie from Little Debbie.
And so Sam, you'll be encouraged. My mom is a huge Sam McKEWON fan.
Hey,
yeah,
she can join the club. It's not very big. Thank you to your mother.
She's and she loves the papers. She's like, hi, good morning. Sam finally sees it, and he wasn't even afraid to mention Caleb by name. And then she went into this whole Danny Nee thing and basketball. And
oh yeah,
Derek Chandler went to talk to her this morning because that's my nephew's last week, and I was like, and I said, Sam ? That's the last thing I expected to read from our group text in the morning, and she's like McKEWON, and I was like, oh,
yeah. Well, there's only about 10 in that fan club, and now there's 11 with your mother. So thank you.
Well, my mom is there, so that's pretty good, man. Like, so you're kind of ramping up to spring as you're looking at how you're looking at this, trying to break down this team.
Yeah. So spring football is going to begin this week. I think we're going to hear from Rule on Thursday. That seems probably the best day for that. And then they'll start the practices over the weekend. And I don't know. I actually think there's a lot to like about this team. I'm saying that objectively. I mean, I look at everything. I try to be as objective as possible about what I do, and I think there's a lot of things about this team that are likable. And I don't, we'll see. Obviously, the largest question mark for me, for sure, is the defensive line. But there's parts of the team that I think are going to be, could be very, very good. I think the receivers could be very good. I think the defensive backs could be very good. They needed to do something different at linebacker, and they're going to try. They're going to try. They're obviously they're going to try to rotate 4 guys, and they need to do that again. And that's a unit that needs to improve. But I think in a lot of different spots, they got a little bit better, or they stayed about as good. And I always believe in continuity, improving a room. So the older that a room gets, the better it's going to get. Just look at Nebraska basketball. So I think there's some good things to look forward to this spring, and I'm intrigued to see how Nebraska attacks it and what the new coaches say about their roles on the team.
Sam, out of the groups that maybe you don't know about or didn't think played well last year, which is the one or two that you think has some of the pieces that you are most interested in?
Well, the linebacker group, I don't think had its best season last year compared to what it had done really the previous 2 or 3 seasons. And I think they had to do something different. And I think Owen Chambliss is there. Dexter Foster, who I think is a really interesting athlete. In some ways, I like what he does as much as, if not more than, Chambliss. Hawthorne's probably not quite ready, but Dawson Merritt will I don't know what his status is going to be for spring, but Dawson Merritt's a player. And then of course Vincent Shavers has got a lot of things that he brings to the table that everybody really likes, and so he needs to be polished a little bit. I think he needs to play a little bit differently, but he also, I thought at times, was compensating for some of the things that were happening in front of him, or trying to compensate for what was happening in front of him, and he was one of the few playmakers on the defense. So that's a unit. The defensive line obviously needs to improve, and I'll see that when I'll believe it when I see it. And one of the things that I really went through and did is I watched a lot of Jasir Whittington and a lot of Owen Stoudemire. So you can get almost all full games, not full games, but a lot of times condensed games on YouTube. They're just there. And so I watched, 5 Pittsburgh games, 4 or 5 BC games. And I think what I like about those guys is they're scrappers. They play hard. And I think, and they get under people's pads because they're not tall. I wouldn't describe either one of them as a splash playmaker. But they'll eat up snaps and they don't quit. So Whittington, I thought, played very hard against Notre Dame. I don't know that any of them on Pitt's defense played well, but he played hard. And when you watch Pitt's defense, they do all the stuff that Nebraska's defense wants to do with games and stunts and all that stuff. And so watched him a lot, watched Stoudemire a lot. Those are just things that you do as you prepare, and they've got to get good play out of those 2 guys. Those 2 guys are crucial to being a better defensive line this year, because honestly, they got to play better than Judy did last year and anybody else that was in that interior. So we'll see what happens.
That's interesting too, because with Coach Arch's defense playing with 4 down, like you get either a shade or a 1 and a 3-10, right? So like a little more traditional playing D lineman. The key will be, you got to occupy one-on-ones obviously in a 4 down, but doesn't that give you I don't want it to be a leading on the surface alone with defined roles, right? A shade, a 1 or 3, where a guy may not have to play a shade, a 2, 2I, slide from a 4 to a 0, right?
Right.
More defined roles as interior linemen.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get the sense, just being a year older, Nebraska would be better by default?
They'll be better, I think, in the pass rush.
It seems that way, right?
Yeah, I think they'll be better in the pass rush. And the comment you're making should not be overlooked. So part of what you're saying is, when they had this 3-man line, which was at times a 4-man line, but was often a shifting line. You had guys that really shouldn't have been, in between the guard and the center, and they did not rush the passer well. You didn't have a lot of interior push. You did when it was Ty Robinson and Nash Hutmaker could get in there, but you really did not last season. They just didn't get to the quarterback very much. And occasionally Nwaneri got there from the edge, and then they were doing, they were setting guys wide out and trying to get people around, and it was just a mess. So I think, go ahead.
Like when you're playing in like a 4 and you want to rush the passer, you're giving up. You have to rush from the inside position. If you're in a 2, you have to rush from. It's just hard. You're giving up your angles.
Yeah,
that's the downside of playing in like those tight fronts. But it also has advantages too.
I think that if you are able to put players in the same spots over and over and get them to be good at what they do, it's not unlike Holgerson talking about, we're going to put Ja'Cory Barney at this receiver spot and he's going to get good at that. I think it will benefit them. There's no sense really in looking back to last year too much, but if people go back and they watch the games that Nebraska played defensively, you're just going to see a lot of guys that are in different spots, going to different places, and you got linemen that are, you got interior linemen playing out by the tackles, and you've got Cam Lenhart sometimes is going against a center, and it just, I don't know. It doesn't matter that much now, but it just didn't all work. And so I think what they're going to do now is they're going to go to a system that makes a lot more sense for the front guys. It is going to ask a lot of Whittington and Stoudemire. Where are they going to play? Are they going to play the nose tackle, or are they going to play the 3? You got to get more from Riley Van Poppel, but I think you're going to get more from him now that he doesn't have to do whatever it is they were trying to ask him to do last year. And they were trying to ask him to do a couple of different things. So hopefully that unit gets better. And I'll write about this a little bit later this week. What you listen for is on the defensive line, is someone dominating. You can get guys that are going to go out there and play hard, but at some point, especially if you're deploying 4 men to your defensive line, somebody's got to win, and they got to win, and they got to dominate.
That's the thing about winning one. Yeah, I agree in 4 down. Like you got to win your one-on-ones, but you also introduce new opportunity for same kind of players, right? Like, you look at a guy like McGahee as like an open side or a close side end, or Wanari setting the edge, or Cam Lenhart being on the edge, like Ochoa, Malcolm as a true interior, Van Pop, true interior. Petshak could play open or close side. You can just start to envision how guys can play to their strengths and not have to know multiple things. Just be good at and then fill in the blank.
Right. And so, you just rattled off, I think, 7 or 8 names, and those are the 7 or 8 that I would think of. Stoudemire, Whittington, Petshak, Lenhart, Nwaneri, maybe Ochoa, Van Poppel, and then
already setting as an end.
Yeah. Right. And then you have Simpson and Terry, and we don't know much about them because they've both been hurt. But they're going to come into the fold, and I think the expectation is that those 2 guys can contribute in the interior. So it's not a question of depth. They will have players. They went out and got players, and of course they got the UCLA guy. Not a question of that. It's a question of, if you're going to put 4 down linemen on the field, those 4 down linemen need to win, because that's an extra guy you're taking off the field. And again, we can go into what was Deshaun McCullough doing a lot of the time, and so on and so forth. But they've got to win up front with those 4 guys. Nothing wrong with doing it. In fact, that's my preference. I would rather be a 4 down unit because I think it's easier for everybody behind them. But we'll see how they do it, and I think Matt Rule's really familiar with 4 down, and so I think they're going to go to work, and they're going to put their head down, and they're going to play hard, and I know that. But somebody's got to go win. Somebody's got to go and make a play. Sacks and tackles for loss need to happen from your defensive linemen when you have a 4-man front. So we'll see what happens.
Dan, what are you looking for? Obviously, the running back room got a lot of attention for what wasn't added off season. What are you looking for out of that group? I mean, and how similar or different is it from what you were looking for last year out of a group that seemingly we had a lot of the same feelings about heading into the season?
Right. I was always a big fan of Emmett Johnson and have been for a long time. So I didn't have the same concerns that I think a lot of other people had last year with Emmett. I don't have as many concerns this year with this room as I think most people do. It isn't because I don't think the position's important. I think that the things that they're looking for at that position, with the exception of the power back, have largely already been shown in the context of practice. Now, they have decided that Quentin Ives is good enough to be the power back, and my sense is they decided that based on his practices and his play in the Las Vegas Bowl. Now, in my opinion, that's a small sample size. He's got to stay healthy, and he has to fulfill the role that they're asking him to fulfill once the season begins. But the other stuff they've got covered. I think Mekhi Nelson is an explosive, athletic, he's not huge, but he's tough back. And I think Isaiah Mozee in the open field is a very good player, and has ball skills and all the rest. I know they feel, my understanding is the feeling inside the program is that Jamal Rule is going to be very good and push. And I think they feel good about Connor Booth, that he's more of a complete back than they thought. Could Connor be the power back? Maybe. So there's really one role. And I think, and it's fair to say that when they get inside the 10, Emmett Johnson was not great inside the 10. When he goes to the NFL, I'd love to see him be the number 2 for example, the Lions, where he could play behind Jahmyr Gibbs and kind of learn that, because I think they're going to get rid of David Montgomery. And learn how to play the position out in the open field, which is where I think Emmett's really good. Inside the 10, you need a back that can go and run people over. And I think they think Ives is going to be that. So there's the question mark is, did you get the power back? Do you get that resolved? If they got it resolved, I think they're going to be about as good in the composite this year as they were in the singular player last year. I'm not concerned about that position. I think people are overly concerned about it. I think that they shouldn't be. and there's other positions that really needed to be addressed, like linebacker. And they address that, and the defensive line, and we'll see how they address that. But running back, I think, is in better shape than most people do.
When you're talking about, I've been doing this thing the last 7-10 days where, practice is going to be open, and you can only be in one room, right? But you get an hour, you can see what you want. And everybody's in their position group. So, but you don't get them overlapping, right? So you don't get to see D-line go against O-line. You don't get to see quarterbacks throw against DBs or anything like that. It's just the position groups for an hour. And Rule would say, hey, man, you guys have at it. Let me just do your thing. I'll come get you guys in an hour. What position group are you going to and why?
Good question. Well, I would always like to watch. I don't really know exactly what Dana Holgorsen does at all his practices, but I would like to hear him and watch him. But offensive and defensive line are the two I think that I would probably spend the most time with. On the offensive line, they have to figure out how to put 3 transfers in and get that done. But I think you can learn a lot about a team based on the way their offensive line acts and the way that they coach. And then the defensive line is, in my opinion, the most important thing to get right in this particular team. It's not because they don't have players, but Corey Brown and Roy Manning and Phil Simpson and Matt Rule and Phil Snow and all the King's horses and men are going to put their energy toward getting that unit good. So I think if you were to go to the defensive line room, you might see Matt Rule in there. You might see Phil Snow in there. You're going to see a lot of people in there because I think they really, really need to get that position right because it was not right last year. Now, that said, I think E.J. Barthel is a really good coach to watch. If a young coach was going to go watch somebody and they were going to say, how do I engage my student athletes, if you're a high school coach or a college coach, in a way that challenges them but also kind of keeps them, engaged. I think Barthel is, high level. And
yeah, he's good.
He's really good. And so I think I would encourage people to watch that. And then based on the feedback that I've heard related to Addison Williams, I think Addison Williams is probably one of the better coaches too. That's a really good example of a unit that I thought was coached well last year until the end of the season, when all of the things that were happening in front of them affected their performance. So I'd set the Utah game aside a little bit. I don't think they played as well as they could have in the Utah game in coverage, but in the Iowa and Penn State game, some of what's happening in that game is related to what's going on in front of them, and everything just sort of fell apart. And so, go ahead.
I mean, you couldn't let Iamaleava throw for, two plus.
That's true. There's a lot of yeah. And the defensive line doesn't get home, and there's just all kinds of stuff. Maybe I put too much on the front, or whatever the conflict was between Butler and Rule and Snow and all that stuff up there. But again, I would say it doesn't matter that much anymore, because I think that Rule has a guy that he wants in that role as the coordinator. And I also think the defense they're going to run is going to be a defense that everybody feels more comfortable with. Tony White did a hell of a job of coordinating that defense for 2 years, but it really was Tony White's defense. So
I would go D-line, or I would go linebackers, D-line, then second. First 3 hours, if I got an hour piece, would all be on the defensive side of the ball. Wide receiver,
certainly. Go ahead.
Tight ends would be second to last. Then quarterbacks, then O-line. So it would probably go.
Then running backs after that?
God, running backs is fascinating, but I kind of feel like I know what I'm going to get there. So I wouldn't spend a ton of time. Like, I just assume they're going to be good. I know.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Hot take, but Sam, this
is that hot of a take. They're going to be so much better than they were in the Frost era.
Well, it's just
they were all over the place in the Frost era.
Just deductive reasoning, right? We were so uncomfortable about the running back room going into last year, and we were hand-wringing over like not getting Marty Brown. And I'm like, guys, I think they like the room. I know how those negotiations went. And then Emmett turned out to be pretty good. So development is fine. Right? And it's more than just Dana deciding a year and a half ago that Emmett should play. Like, he was coached up and got better as the season went along. And we know more about Mosey and Mackay than we did about Emmett going into 2025, I think.
Right.
I feel better this year.
Yeah, I understand that. I get it.
15-yard rusher. But if you just ask me what I know more about this room this year than I did last year. And last year, that room turned out to be okay.
It turned out to be very good. What I would say is that fans have they lack a short-term memory, but they have a long-term memory. And so what happens is fans compare the running back room every single year, either to when you played or to when Rex Burkhead and Roy Halou were there. Like, they think of that era. They're like, well, it's not Rex and Amir. And like, that's true. It's not 95. That's true. And those are high points in the eras. But again, I have a short-term memory too, because I've been watching it for a decade and a half pretty closely. The room they have right now is a lot more figured out than what they had going on in 21, when they played like 6 guys in 3 games, or 4 games. And I'm not exaggerating. I mean, they played everybody. Guys got hurt, and guys fell down, and guys didn't practice. I mean, it was a mess. It was a total mess. And not that the players weren't talented, but they played like 5 guys in 1 game, and 6 in the first, 4 weeks of the season. And then back in 18, they played, and they finally settled on Divine, but they played like 5 guys in 5 games. Like, they have a much clearer sense of what they want to do and how they want to accomplish it than they did for almost all of the Frost era. And that's not a knock on the coach at the time. Some of it's on Frost. But you want to talk about clarity. They have clarity. The question is the power back. Like, he's got to stay healthy, and then he's got to show that he is a between the tackles runner who's not going to bounce the ball out, because when he was in high school, Ives bounced the ball a lot. He's fast and he can gallop.
Although, but in Frost's defense, and I'm not, you have to just take this for what it is. If that one guy that looked real electric in Boulder, like, does the right thing over an extended period of time, he did get that guy right, because he was pretty electric.
He was. He certainly, Mo was a great player, and he's probably the most talented running back they've had since, I don't know, Roy Halou. Probably it's just pure talent. But
or Aaron Green, one of those.
Sure. Yeah, that's right. Aaron was there for a half a minute. So, but anyway, like, the reality is they struggled a lot with clarity and like roster management during that time. They didn't exactly know, and Mo was part of this. They didn't know if he was going to practice well. They didn't know if he was going to go and eat the meals that he was supposed to eat. Like, they just didn't know. And this unit isn't like that. I think Barthel has a lot more accountability on the guys. And when things aren't the way that they want it to be, I think there's an accountability structure there where everybody's real clear on what's going on.
He could have coached us. That's all I know. Like, he could have coached our room, and he'd have been just fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. As far as the wide receivers are concerned,
hold you accountable. EJ would have been just fine.
Yeah, he would. As far as the receivers are concerned, I think the thing that is most interesting to me is that they have a 6'6", a 6'4", and a 6'4" receiver in Quinn Clark, Keelan Smith, and Jeremiah Jones. And not a lot of teams have this many guys that are that size. I'm real curious to see how they incorporate all of that size in their offense, and whether or not, Quinn Clark is good in a lot of different situations, but can he play down in and down out? He's probably the tallest every down receiver they might have since, well, I guess Brian Reimer's played almost every down since Will Henry back in the Callahan era. So I'll be curious to see if Quinn Clark is an every down receiver, or Keelan Smith gets to that point, because you don't necessarily see a lot of 6'5" and 6'6" guys playing all the time, and yet they've chosen to invest in these guys and develop them, and I'll be curious to see how that all turns out, because those guys are important. They're going to have to play a lot next season, a lot, and I'll be curious to see how productive they are.
That's Sam McKEWON from the Omaha World Herald. Sam, I know you got to get running today. We appreciate the time.
We won't tease you with hoops or softball or baseball. We'll
there'll be plenty of that next week, I think. They'll still be
Take care.
Appreciate it, Sam.
Thanks, Sam.
Bye.
That is Sam McKEWON from the Omaha World Herald.
Stationary Sam McKEWON.
Yeah,
no door dinging, no driving, no blinking, no nothing. What? You have a furrowed brow, young L3.
I'm trying to decide if I want to go back and get this or not.
What?
Because
Are you guys going?
I understood your point about Mo Washington, but also, like, there was a reason he was available to Nebraska at that time. The talent.
Coucher.
No, I'm not couching anything. Everybody knew the talent. There was never a question about the talent. There was a reason he was available at the time. Everybody knew that reason too. Most people didn't want to take that risk. Frost decided to. For right or wrong, this isn't a judgment on that, but that's not the one I would look to as like, hey, that's a great eval win. Everybody knew that dude was super talented.
I'm just gonna say something, and this may not be super popular.
Mm-hmm.
From Jamison Williams to Mo Washington to from Pierce Jr. To LP, like, everybody has the opportunity to take a shot on a guy that comes with blank.
Sure,
it happens all the time. So yeah. I'm not going to hit auto default and say, oh, man, he was available, because, like, all those guys are all over the place, and sometimes they pan out.
Sure.
So, like, part of that is coaching too, though. Can you corral it? Can you?
Right.
I mean, those guys are all over the place.
My point was
all over the place.
My point was mostly, like, I wouldn't have pointed that to, like, the eval win. Personally. Like, I that's where I have a hard time with the Washington part of it all. But maybe I'm misremembering because of, like, maybe I'm adding in what we know now to the initial eval.
He's
very talented. I mean, incredibly talented guy. And I think it was difficult for a lot of coaches not to take a shot on him.
Yeah.
He was obviously super talented. And for a while it did work out for, briefly, but it is what it is. I just have a hard time with that particular eval.
He's talented.
He's super talented. I just think it's kind of a microcosm of a lot of the Frost era.
Yeah, but again, I'm not. He knows that he took a chance.
Yeah, no, I know. We've talked about that.
Guys,
yeah,
and he said it out loud. So I'm not killing him over that.
No, I'm not killing him for taking the chance. It's just I think that is when I say microcosm of the Frost era, I think he took some chances on some guys that backfired on him.
Yeah,
and that was a big part of the issue, especially early
100%.
when he still felt like he maybe had his arms around it a little bit better. Let's take a quick break here. We will get to I think it's time to get to our blind resume. We'll talk about
breakfast spots.
It's a little nope.
Athletics.
It is college basketball players.
All right, let's roll.
I've got numbers for you. I think you'll be able to tell who's who. I think you will. So the blind part on that side isn't as important.
So am I saying who it is and ranking them, or am I just ranking them and then you'll tell me who it is?
However you'd like to do it. Ranking them is the important part, but if you know who it is right off the bat, you can guess.
Okay, so you're gonna have to give me however many there are all at a time.
Total 5.
And
there's going to be 5 guys.
Okay.
We'll go 1 through 5.
Fair enough.
Well, that's DB. I'm Ravi, Lulla. We'll be back. Hurrdat Sports Live.
I think a lot of it had to do with Northwestern. They did a good job, obviously, jumping into the passing lane, and our guys did a poor job of continuing to try to complete passes that just weren't there. Talked a lot about ball fakes, back cuts, and we never got to it. And then when we got at the post, we dribbled and they swarmed on the spin. And they just created a lot of havoc for us. You give Northwestern credit for the way they came out of the gate. I thought the second half, we really tried to get the ball to the elbow and just play out of splits and get our cutting going. And I thought our guys did a much better job in the second half. We still had, I think, 8 turnovers in the second half. But overall, I thought our movement was much better. Our purpose was much better. And I thought we really guarded in that second 20 minutes.
Without even knowing the numbers that you just brought up, energy in the building was very unique, very special on this special occasion where we recognized cancer survivors. I think all of us in our families, we do have cancer survivors and also close ones that passed because of that disease. So I would really like to thank our fans for showing up, giving us all the love and support tonight, and really trying to help us to get back in the game. When we walked out of after set 2, and you just kind of felt all 11,000 plus people are with us, every single one of them. So I would like to thank them for doing that for us and supporting us regardless, not the outcome that we wanted tonight.
Well, I wish the game was 28 minutes. For us, 2 games in a row, Michigan and Nebraska, we played 28 minutes of really good basketball and then 12 minutes of really poor basketball. And give Nebraska a lot of credit for that. They're an experienced group. They're a tough-minded group. I thought we did a lot of good things defensively up until that point. And then, I thought it was a real critical stretch. There was, we didn't convert on a 2-on-1, and then there was a long rebound and one of our guys was going for the ball and Sam, does what he does. He gets a loose ball and they pitch it ahead and Price hits a 3. And that kind of ignited their run. And we just struggled offensively all night. We had a hard time getting Nick going. Give them credit. They do a really good job defensively scheming and sending bodies and making you pass. And, we're just not a very good shooting team. So that hurts us, when we get them in rotation. We don't have very confident shooters right now, which makes it hard.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Next Gen Male Medical. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. DB, I've been wanting to get to this for about a week now.
Yeah, about a week ago.
About a week. Wanted to get to our blind resume of college basketball players. There's 5 guys.
I need my pen.
Got your pen?
Okay.
5 guys.
All
Okay.
righty.
They are all very well known. They all play power conference basketball. Tried to make it as even as possible in those senses, okay?
Okay.
I'm going to give you what I consider to be their relevant numbers, basically points, assists, rebounds, and shooting splits. If they do something else particularly well,
shooting splits.
I've also included that. I felt like the shooting splits were important.
That might be my distinguishing factor.
It probably will be. I think it makes it much easier once you hear the shooting splits.
Yeah. So when I'm looking at the rundown, I should have actually studied those numbers.
Mhm.
But I didn't want to because I didn't want to know.
I know. I almost thought about sending you a different rundown without the numbers so you wouldn't have a chance to peek.
No, but
I figured you would understand the game and not.
got you.
So, so I'm not going to tell you the position right off the bat unless you need it. If you want the position later, I'll give it to you.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So we'll start here. 19.8 points per game, 9.4 rebounds per game, 2.7 assists per game, 1.5 steals and blocks each per game. Shooting splits are 58% from the field, 26% from 3, and 71% from the free throw line. That is player number 1. You need any numbers repeated?
What was the foul line?
71.
Okay. Go.
That's player number 1. Player number 2, 23 points per game, 10 rebounds per game, 4 assists per game, 1.8 steals per game, 58 from the field, 39 from 3, 77 from the free throw line.
39% from 3?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm going to make you rank these before we get to names.
Gotcha.
Player number 3, 19.8 points per game, 3.9 rebounds, 1.6 assists, shooting splits 48, 41, 80.
Jeez. Okay.
Next guy, 18.5 points per game, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 46, 44, 80 splits.
Okay.
Last but not least, 24 and a half a game, 6.6 rebounds, 3.8 assists, 54, 36, 75.
All right.
So what order are we putting these players in?
So I'm going to go last one first.
Okay.
24-5.
So I'm going to put a 1 by this guy here. That's your number 1. The 24, 6.5, 4.
What were the splits again?
54, 36, 75.
54, 36, 30.
75.
God, that's got to be Dabanza. Do I put him 1? Okay. I'm going to put him. It's got to be Dabanza. I'll go 1.
Okay.
Okay. I'll go. The 19-8 with the 9 rebounds, 2.
Okay.
Because I think that's Caleb Wilson.
Number 2 for 19-8, 9.5. He's got the steals and blocks too, which is nice on that one.
God, 23 and 10's got to be Boozer. I'll take the 23 and 10 at number 4.
Number 4, okay.
Give me the other 2.
All right. So the last 2 that we have left. 18.5 points per game.
Yeah.
5 rebounds per game. 4 assists per game.
What are the shooting splits?
46, 44, 80.
That's Wagler. He's 5. So who's left?
19.8, 3.9, 1.6.
Well, do you have to go 3? That guy has to go 3?
Yeah, he's the guy you've got it. He would be your 3.
All right, so put him at 3, but I don't know who that is.
48, 41, 80.
So the 41 from 3 is throwing me. Because I want to say it's Fleming's, but he doesn't shoot that well from 3.
And he doesn't score that much. He's at like 15, 16.
So then I think Sturts.
Mm-hmm.
But would you use Bennett Sturts? Those numbers are sensational. I'm going to guess Sturts, but I'm locked in at 3. No. Acuff doesn't shoot 41%.
Sturts is at a little higher than that on. Here's the number that you're not paying enough attention to on that guy.
Okay.
1.6 assists per game. So it can't be Sturts.
God, is that Peterson?
It's Darren Peterson.
Yeah. Okay. So that's fine. I put him at 3.
You put him at 3.
So what's my draft order?
You've got number 1, AJ DeBonsa.
Okay.
Number 2, Caleb Wilson.
Okay.
Number 3, Darren Peterson. Number 4, Cameron Boozer.
And 5 has to be Wagler.
And 5 is Wagler.
I'm fine with that.
I thought I almost tricked you into taking
pretty good.
Wagler over Peterson. I thought I almost got you.
That's pretty good.
That is pretty good.
That's how I would take those 5 guys.
What was the holdup on what was the part that was confusing you about the Peterson stat line? Like, what did you not think was him?
The 3-point percentage.
Yeah, he's been plummeting. He's down like 5 percentage points in the last 2 weeks.
So that was throwing me.
Yeah, it's because he's actually played conference games.
You're such a. I'm happy with that though.
You know what's down also about 5 percentage points
So
in the
wait,
last
tell
week?
me my draft order again.
You've got AJ DeBonsa.
Okay.
Who is the guy, by the way, that you guys were killing me for?
I didn't kill you. You said that he is least likely to carry a team through winning 6 games than Peterson. I thought that was a hot take.
Okay.
That's a hot. Nobody can go on a heater like Peterson.
In the chat, I was getting killed for thinking DeBonsa is a better number 1 overall pick than Peterson.
Wasn't your boy.
All right. Number 1 is DeBonsa. Number 2 was Caleb Wilson.
Okay.
Number 3 is Darren Peterson. Number 4 is Cam Boozer. And number 5 is Keaton Wagler.
That's how I would draft those guys.
Is there
Although Wagler at 5 is too high.
I'll say, who would you take? You don't like Wagler.
Fleming.
You don't like Wagler.
I'd
at 5.
take Kingston Fleming over Wagler.
The reason I went Wagler in this group instead of,
but of those 5,
yeah,
I'm happy with my order.
The reason I went Wagler here instead of Fleming's at 5 is because the numbers were more similar.
I hear you.
And so I wanted to keep it tighter, like more tightly bunched, because the 15.7 or whatever it is for Kingston is an outlier in that group.
Did you watch College Game Day?
Not much of it, no.
Okay, so the first person, and he's like this, but he was an amazing player, especially pre-motorcycle accident.
Jay Williams.
He went there with Darren Peterson.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
What did he say?
Just he questions it. Just couldn't in good faith not factor in the consideration that he said, which no one ever says out loud. Yeah, I question his dog.
Yeah, I just wonder how much he likes playing basketball.
And Jay Will can get away with it.
Yeah, because he's that guy.
And he was a killer.
Yeah, he was 100% that guy.
So and he's not afraid to have strong opinions.
Yeah.
But he said he went there with DP. I mean, even Mike was like, "Hey, turn that up." We were eating breakfast.
Yeah.
It was like 10:10 on Saturday, and it's like, he was like, "Hey, man, what'd he say?" And Jay will go there.
Yeah.
But again, I'm pleasantly surprised with my draft order. Of those 5.
I thought you did a good job. The thing that gets me, because there's the thing that gets me with Peterson, and it's part of it's the playing. I don't know how much he likes playing basketball. The other part that I don't like, you know how hard it is to not get 2 assists a game in college basketball if you've got the ball in your hands that much?
Yeah, but can I just say this? It's like when I watch Braden Smith. Braden Smith's assists are way down from a year ago, and they're still high.
Yeah.
Sometimes guys got to make those shots.
I understand that. Sometimes you got to pass the ball too.
Sometimes
you got to pass the ball in positions where it's not just like, I can't score here, you'd figure something out. That's what Darren Peterson gives me.
I'm with you. I just don't know if I'm as linear as that.
Name me a okay, so any college basketball player you want to. Name me any college basketball player that you thought was super high level scorer, had no interest in creating anything for teammates. And I will bet you $20 right now that whoever you name that they meet that criteria had more assists per game than Darren Peterson in college. I will guarantee that. You name anybody you want. And
what's the number 19?
16.
What's bucket getter?
Woohoo.
What's the qualifications of a guy that's a scorer?
We'll just have to agree on it. You name a name and I'll be like, that's a bucket getter. We're cool. Yes. Because I don't want to put a number because whatever.
Wow.
But somebody with prowess, you know what I mean? Somebody that is.
I'll give you lottery pick.
Yeah.
Give me Brandon Wright from Carolina.
Not a guard.
Okay, a guard?
Yeah, give me a guard. Sorry, give me a guard. Give me a guard. I need somebody who has the ball in their hands quite a bit. I'll bet, man. I'll bet you Brandon Wright does too, but I'm not. That's not the bet. But Brandon spelled Brandon funny, didn't he?
It's Brandon. It's with an E-N.
Okay. Yeah, give me a guard.
A guard.
Mm-hmm. I think this is way more of an outlier than people realize with the Darren Peterson thing.
Oh, you might be right. Give me Chris Jackson.
LSU?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see what we got here.
I definitely wouldn't put that on the table. I'm just thinking prolific scorers.
Oh, come on now. Give me the years.
Come on, man.
Why aren't you coming up on Basketball Reference here? I've got Brandon Jackson here real quick. I just want to give
Brandon
you
Wright?
Brandon Wright. Yeah, Brandon Wright. He was at 1-0 a game.
Okay. Not a guard.
Not a guard, yeah. Chris Jackson, LSU stats.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what we got. Oh, they changed his name on Sports Reference. 3-6.
Give me Anthony Peeler.
Okay, that's a good one. College stats. What do we got for Anthony Peeler? 4-2.
Give me Harold Miner.
Harold Miner. 1-8. So we're getting closer.
Harold Miner was almost the first name that I said.
Yeah, that's a good pull. And
thank you. Shout out DB.
Certified bucket. I mean, over 20 a game.
I watched Harold Miner give Nebraska 40.
Yeah.
At the Devaney. Right from here to this door.
And I think that's a good one prowess-wise. He was thought of incredibly highly.
That's a good pull by me. This is a nice little 10 minutes for your boy, Shane, after my hot takes about dessert, which I got murdered for.
It is a good pull. He still has more assists per game than Darren Peterson.
By
by 0.2.
Okay. That might be all I have.
I mean, Harold Monell is a really good poll.
For laughs and giggles.
Yeah.
Isaiah Ryder.
Ooh, okay. I do not remember him in college at all.
Isaiah Ryder. Give me J.R. Ryder.
Isaiah Ryder, college stats from UNLV. He's at 2.9.
It was low, though.
I think this is the point. I think the Darren Peterson lack of playmaking is a way, way bigger outlier than people realize. Because you know the name that I thought of immediately? Because I actually think this is probably,
Jibs, I watched Thornton make 9 consecutive free throws the other day to get Ohio State to cover.
If I had
knows I love Bruce Thornton.
give you a name, the name that I thought of for a guy that like has no interest in making his team better besides getting buckets was Bradley Beal.
So did you tell somebody
I
said he gives you Bradley Beal
that was
vibes.
me like 3 weeks ago.
Interesting.
He was at 2.2.
Wait, is that right, Heath? McBuckets only was 1.6 a night for assists as a senior at Creighton? Now, he wasn't a guard, but that seems low. God, that seems low.
I think that's right. He's only 1.3 for his career.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, he was 1.6 as a senior.
Wow, shoot it. Don't give it away.
He also didn't have the ball in his hands that much if he wasn't shooting it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's why I did limit it to guards.
Yes, Carol, he would. Amari Bynum would be an amazing fit in the Nebraska gear.
Ooh, somebody said Ray Allen. Let's throw Ray Allen out there. What do we have for Ray Allen? Ray Allen's I think a better playmaker than that. So yeah, he was a 2.4.
Yeah, but you're splitting hairs.
It's so hard to be under 2 as a guard. That's my point. And the ones that even guys that like in the NBA are like, oh, that guy don't pass at all was more than this.
What was Bryce Williams
at Nebraska?
Mm-hmm. He dribbled a ton.
He was for his career, he was at 1.6. His last year at Nebraska, though, he was at 3.
1.6 for his career.
Yeah. Part of that, I mean, that's
shoot. It seemed like he shared it more at Charlotte.
He didn't. It was he had twice.
It seemed like it.
Yeah, he had twice as many assists per game.
But he was only going for what, 15 a night at Charlotte?
14. Yeah. He doubled his assists.
Shane, are you amazed at my Rolodex? I am.
He doubled his assists.
You're rolling through
Nebraska.
Interesting.
Also, not to be a hater or anything, Bryce Williams cannot sniff the draft stock that we're talking about for Darren Peterson.
Yeah, I know. Jordan, I told you I didn't feel good about it. I'm late to the show, boys, but my 5th grade students can tell you dew is just condensation from temperature change. Be better. Well, that's kind of what I was intimating. Jeez, Jordan.
Are we considering Michael Beasley a guard? Because
No.
I do not.
No.
Okay.
Beasley, no way he was getting more than 2 a night.
Yeah, he was at 1.2.
Yeah, that dude.
Yeah.
But Beasley,
he was a big. Like, I mean,
no. So Tinsley doesn't have the scoring prowess, Channel 3 Sean, but I guarantee you Tinsley was going for more than 2 assists. Tinsley was a distributor.
He was a great point guard.
Why, Channel 3 Sean, why are you down on Tinsley?
He's probably remembering Pacers Tinsley.
Well, he loves Nebraska basketball, so it's an ISU thing.
Oh, gotcha. I'll be honest, I had a soft spot for those Tinsley, Marcus Fizer.
Fizer was a stud.
Those were fun teams. Yeah, I mean, Tinsley was at 6'3". Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah.
I knew Tinsley was dishing that ball. Like,
I'm just wondering why. I think it's because of his love of.
That's totally fair. Yeah, like, I mean,
like that dude loves Nebraska basketball.
Dude, Tinsley was a dude though. I love Tinsley and Fizer were like, I like those teams a lot.
So I'm watching Iowa State give it to Kansas while I'm live texting you guys.
Mm-hmm.
If Lipsy could make just a three a game more,
mm-hmm.
they would be incredible.
What's his percentage at?
I don't know, man. It can't be good. Unless he's just not a volume guy. Because
no, it's pretty bad.
I never see him make threes.
It's pretty bad.
What is it? Is it 28?
Yeah, it's 20. It's dead on.
Yeah, because I'm telling you, and I watch it clearly, but I'd never seen him make threes.
Yeah, he's at 27-8 this year.
I can't remember the last time I've seen him make a three.
He shot 70 some on the season, so he takes like 3 a game.
And I watched them inordinate amount.
Yeah. Well, you love Jefferson too. This is by far his lowest year though, because 2 years ago he shot at almost 40%.
So the only downside to Jefferson is in the post, he works off the bounce. I'd like to see it from the entry.
Yeah. Like he has to dribble his way into the post.
Down.
Yeah.
So it bogs them down.
Yep.
But he's really good out of the double. Jefferson is sensational, and he's old.
Weird. A lot of guys, especially modern bigs, even when they do go down the post, a lot of them do need to dribble their way into it.
So do you want to do this now, or should we? We could ask Sharp, too, because he watches a lot of college basketball.
What's that?
Like sorting through the muck in the Big Ten with the standings. Remember how we did the schedules?
Yeah.
I mean, because, you got Michigan safe as a kitten. They're not going to drop 2 more games and allow without Illinois not dropping 1.
Yeah.
I don't think.
You're probably right. Yeah.
So if you think Michigan is safe, how are you sorting out Illinois, Nebraska, and Purdue? Because Nebraska has the next easiest schedule outside of Illinois.
I don't know, man. Like, I think Michigan's schedule is harder down the stretch than we're giving credit for.
It is. It's tough.
And Illinois is as soft as a kitten. If they beat Michigan, they're in that thing.
And you're not counting Duke with Michigan.
Right. But they've got 4
tough
tough
have
conference
3
games.
of the top 3 of the top 5 remaining teams left.
Yeah. They've got, and then plus Iowa. They also have to go to Iowa. So they've got Purdue, Illinois, Iowa, Michigan State. That's tough.
Mm-hmm.
3 of those are on the
4
road.
are on the road.
The only one at home is Michigan State.
Maybe they aren't safe. They're pretty good.
They are really
They're
good.
Really good.
Would not shock me at all if they finish the conference with just the one
And they have
regular
a
season
2-game
loss.
cushion.
I know. But all of a sudden, that's a 1-game cushion if Illinois beats them. And Illinois is probably – that's the only –
That's the only game I could see Illinois losing down the stretch.
If Illinois beats them, they're not losing down the stretch. So that's the problem, is Illinois' schedule down the stretch outside of Michigan is soft batch.
Yeah, this is wild.
It's going to be interesting. Like, I'm fascinated by this because I do think Illinois chasing down Michigan is in play.
Do you?
I do.
Do you know Illinois' schedule?
Yeah. I was just looking at it. It is USC, UCLA, Michigan, Oregon, Maryland.
Are they losing more than one of those?
No, I'm saying if they beat Michigan, I think they're chasing them down. Like, I think that is definitely in play. If Illinois beats Michigan, them chasing Michigan down is 100% in play. I think it's more likely that Illinois beats Michigan and doesn't lose another game than it is that Michigan doesn't lose 2.
I think that game at SC is 10 o'clock Illinois time.
Yeah, that's the toughest stretch right here is when they go Wednesday, Saturday out to LA.
Because I think is that an 8 p.m. tip? It's on television.
Let me check. I haven't looked at the schedule yet for that day. Let's take a quick break, though. We've got Ryan Roberts from A to Z Sports, talk a little NFL draft coming up next. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. Let's Hurrdat Sports Live.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's my responsibility and our responsibility as a staff to help them navigate that. And, it's not easy for us either. But, 28 hours ago, 30 hours ago, whatever it was, Josh was speaking at his mom's funeral. So a 21-year-old, shouldn't have to do that. And he was incredible. He's a pillar of strength, I think, for his family during a very difficult time. And for our guys to see how he's navigated this and handled this and shows up every day without any excuses has been pretty incredible. But I've talked before about how young people like me as a coach and our staff, we take losses, we hold on to them longer than players. We don't get over the loss until you play the next game. Players have a way. It's they played AU basketball where we got beat at 11 o'clock. Where are we going to lunch? We play again at 2. So you have to get over it pretty fast. This is going to be harder to get over.
Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Next Gen Male Medical. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. We are joined now by Ryan Roberts from A to Z Sports. Talk a little NFL draft. Ryan, how are we doing this morning?
Doing well, guys. Doing well. How are you?
Oh, just listen. This is. Can we start with combine invites? I don't really want to have a ton of hot takes, but were there any surprises for you? And I'm thinking nudge, nudge, wink, wink, maybe at the wide receiver spot, especially after his All-Star Bowl game performance. And I get it, small school. Or maybe prolific running backs that spent time that have a couple of consonants and their last name starts with a vowel at the running back spot. Were there any surprises for you with combine invites?
I mean, there were a couple. I mean, I would even go like Kalen Black from Indiana. I think is a guy.
Unbelievable how productive he was, and he was great in the All-Star games.
He was. He did a really good job at the Senior Bowl. I think that there were a few guys. Landon Robinson, I think from Navy, although he's a size outlier. I mean, he went down to Frisco at the East-West Shrine Bowl, and a lot of people down there thought that he was the best overall player on either team during the week. So it was, there's always like those weird ones and the frustrating ones. The weird thing is that, I had never really had great context to how the combine lists were finalized. So after a couple of the snubs this year, because it felt like there were more snubs this year than in years past, in my opinion. Maybe that was just recency bias, but like that's how it felt to me. So I hit up a couple of my scouting friends in the industry, and I'm just like, that are working for teams currently, and I'm like, hey, can you just give me a little bit more insight? Because I'm looking at 319 players going to Indianapolis, and there's like probably like 7 or 8 guys that I'm like that guy should probably be there, right? Like it just foundationally. And they kind of gave me the insight of, so every team gets a vote. So 32 teams get a vote on each player. Like they go through the players and they basically vote if that's a guy that they want to see in Indianapolis. And then there's an extra vote. So there's 33 total votes from the NFS or Blesto, which handle the preseason grades. So they're kind of like their own entity. So there's 33 total votes. And like I can give you insight for Landon Robinson, who I mentioned for Navy. He only got 1 vote out of 33. So of the 33 total, only a single one, which I found like super interesting. So it's a very interesting process. And at the end of the day, you're going to talk about, why do guys not get invited? Well, it's because most of the teams maybe don't have as high a grade, maybe as some perceive in the industry, in the media side of things, or maybe comparatively to some other teams. So it's a really funky process, man. And it is really unfortunate because, and someone asked me this, it was like, well, why don't they just, give somebody else an invite if they find out that a player isn't going to test and isn't going to do any on-field stuff? And I'm just like, well, there's also the medicals and the interviews, and like the process is a lot bigger than just the on-field stuff, but definitely unfortunate to see some of these guys not be able to get their opportunities to participate in Indianapolis.
There's a more than just Jade Knott, and I get it, but
yeah.
How about some sort of cautionary tales about the grass not always being greener? Like if you sat Jade Knott down and he had to take some truth serum, like he's going back to almost the 1,400 yards at Cal, or
yeah,
because it's just weird. We're starting to see this with guys where it doesn't. It's not like we think once we leave. Is there a story that we can begin to tell, or still too soon?
I think it's on both sides. There's a story that you can tell with it. I think like anything, and I even like can parallel this to like fatherhood for a second, right? Like you always want the people after you, namely your kids and the young ones, to be able to learn from your mistakes, right? So I think that there's those cautionary tales on the player side of like, in theory, a jump from Cal to Oklahoma sounds really good, especially when Jay Knott had some early hype in his career, and you just think like he's going to light the world on fire with the Sooners, and he's going to be a top 100 draft pick, and you're going to be good, right? Like, so the cautionary tales are there for sure. And I think especially like for me, I think the cautionary tale is especially when you only have 1 year of eligibility, because you only get one shot of it at that point, right? For the guys that have multi-years, you could potentially get another reset, or maybe you take advantage of a second year under the same coaching staff where you say, okay, year 2 is where my breakout is. Because we've seen that with like quarterbacks specifically, where it's like year 1 was solid, like it was good. I think of like Jaden Daniels, for instance, right? Where you're like, his first year at LSU, he was good. But, I mean, he wasn't a Heisman Trophy winner, obviously, right? When you got that second year of eligibility, I think that really gives you a big opportunity for that multi-year runway of development under a coaching staff. So I think on the player side, it's that way. On the NFL side of things, though, I really do think that this is, and I think we talked about this before in terms of like some of these players getting money in their pockets early. It gives the NFL team some insight into how does this player handle money, but more importantly, does it change anything about his work ethic and the nature of him as a competitor. On that side of it, it's also like, why did you leave, right? Was there a real issue for why you left of the coaching staff was unfairly treating? Maybe you had a coaching change. Like there's real things that do make guys move that you understand. But then the other side of, well, you just wanted an easy payday, right? Of a 1-to-1 jump, or you were a problem at your previous institution and you wanted to find another opportunity to hopefully hide your issues in a year setting where maybe those guys won't get enough the opportunity to get to know you a little better. So I think it's giving you insight on both sides of things, and I don't think it's too early to get a lot of those data points, and I do think that that could potentially change some decision making. At the end of the day, it's a money situation, right? So a lot of players are still going to leave, but I do think there's the opportunity to maybe make better, more wise decisions moving forward based upon some of the lack of success stories on the next level.
Ryan, I want to talk to you about kind of positions here in terms of the.
Imagine Marty Brown still being at NDSU.
Yeah.
I mean, Miami was fine, but
yeah,
it's just weird, Ryan. I'll be watching a ton.
Yeah. By the way, Damon, I want to bring this up to you. About a week or two ago, I got a nice DM from you about voting for your Spotify podcast. I want to mention that to you.
So, R2, do you know that's how I got hacked? By voting?
Yep, I believe it.
Yeah. So allegedly, Ben Harstock, who's a buddy of mine that I worked with to do some shows, wanted me to vote for him. So I was like, oh, okay, no problem, Ben. Yeah, But here's the cool thing, Ryan, is Twitter is working with me. So like at least I know like they're aware of it, and I'm being patient. It's not funny.
It's a little funny.
Let me ask you something, Ryan, again, real quick, just because I want to move off of this because it's a Cal thing, and he transferred, and he's the antithesis. He had the great season with Indiana. But I want to ask you this. I'm watch him a ton. I'm talking about leading locker rooms, where you could potentially land. Would Mendoza be the top pick for you?
Would Mendoza be the top pick for me in this class? You mean in the 2026 draft?
Yeah.
He would, just because I do think there is a quarterback tax, right? Like I do think that matters, and I do think that the Raiders are in a situation where bringing in Coach Kubiak and getting that fresh start, they do need stability at the most important position in sports. So I understand the ideology there. I do think that we probably see some things eye to eye in the sense of, am I excited about the ceiling of Fernando Mendoza on the next level of him potentially being an elevator? I'm not really. No, I think that and when you look at the people that he's comped to, it's like Jared Goff and like that type of player where you're like, in a good situation, Jared Goff is good, right? In a great situation, Jared Goff looks great at times, and in very, vice versa. So like he's a beneficiary of what's around him more than maybe some other quarterbacks. And for me personally, there's a weighted value of, do you prefer the floor or the ceiling for certain positions? Like if I'm drafting an interior offensive lineman, for instance, I want that floor. Like the floor matters a lot more to me than the perceived ceiling, because that's a position that I just think that consistency matters so much more. And if you're a really high level player, if you're an elite interior offensive lineman, it's not going to elevate your team as much as if your elevator is at quarterback or at offensive tackle or defensive end or wide receiver. Like it's just not going to elevate to that degree. So I lend more towards the floor of evaluation of an interior offensive lineman, for instance. Quarterback, generally speaking, I do trend towards the ceiling. So that's who I typically value, because for me, I want a guy that, because people miss, people hit, right? Like, and you're going to keep swinging if you miss on a quarterback, obviously. But I would rather swing for the ceiling, because if I'm going to have that rookie control over a quarterback who is an elevator, that is where my biggest benefit comes as a roster building perspective. So I like Fernando Mendoza, the floor baseline player. I think he will make the Las Vegas Raiders a better product because of that substantial upgrade of that floor. But I do have some questions in terms of even if the Raiders get it turned around and they become a better roster, or even a perceived good roster in the next couple of years, is he a guy that can take me from good to great, or from great to a Super Bowl? That is a remaining question that I do have for sure.
I'm on the phone yesterday with the Jets. I'm moving off that pick. Woody's not.
It's funny enough, we actually just had a video where we talked about that, and it was a fun, heated debate that me and my co-host Joe DeLeon had, because I do think that there was a conversation point that does need to happen there, right? Like, there is a conversation that needs to happen, but every time you try to happen, people come in the comment section and are like, that's stupid, you take the quarterback. And I'm like, I understand that in a vacuum that you take the quarterback if he is perceived to be a guy that is at least in the ballpark of that pick range. But I do think that if you're a team and settling on a guy just because you think the floor is cool does get you burned at times. So I really do think that that is a conversation worth having. And ultimately, it's going to come down to me, because nobody knows this answer. Does Clint Kubiak, does the ownership with Raiders, are they all bought in on Fernando Mendoza? Nobody knows that answer yet. They don't even probably know that answer fully yet, right? So that is going to be the big indicator of, like, if that pick is even worth having a conversation about, or if there is legitimate conversation that happens because everyone takes the calls, right? But it's like, does it go to the next step of, like, all right, this is actually interesting. I don't know what will happen with it, but I do think it's a conversation that absolutely needs to happen in the building. If not, I think it's a very poor made decision if you don't consider all parties.
Yeah, I mean, can you just imagine? And listen, what you do with Crosby, you do with Crosby. He clearly wants out. They think they want him. But you move Crosby and you move the number one pick. I mean, that's what you want as a young coach coming into a franchise where you can put your own stamp on it. Like, they could stockpile picks, and it would be amazing.
Well, and they have some demand in the top 10 too. I mean, you mentioned obviously the number 2 overall pick with the Jets, but I mean, the Cleveland Browns are at 6, right? And if I am the Las Vegas Raiders, I don't want to move back too far, but going from 6-1 compared to 2-1, 6-1 is going to have to pay a whole lot more than 2-1 is, right? So, like, you're like, that's an interesting conversation, because there are some teams that do need to invest in quarterback this offseason, and depending on how you feel about, the Kirk Cousins, the Derek Carrs, like that type of quarterback that you potentially could be on the market, Malik Willis, like those types of guys, it could make you a little desperate in draft terms. I mean, I don't think the Pittsburgh Steelers have enough or will mortgage enough to go from 21-1, but like, they're another team that could be somewhat desperate for a quarterback this offseason. So there's a lot of quarterback needy teams. And again, if the Raiders don't at least have the conversations, I think it's a bad decision-making process. It doesn't mean that they ultimately have to if they really do like Fernando Mendoza, but as much data as possible to make a good decision, I think is how you make the best possible decision in the end.
Ryan, if you're sitting there and you're looking at the quarterback class, and we'll include Mendoza in this, but we've kind of already answered the question on him. Is there anyone, regardless of what other red flags, regardless of what other flaws, concerns, draft projections, wherever, is there anyone whose ceiling you look at and go, oh, that is intriguing?
Man, not really, to be honest with you.
Kind of bleak, right?
I agree.
It's like,
I agree.
There's not even like a Jalen Milroe where you're like, hey, if everything works out, like, it's kind of bleak out there this year.
Not even, I mean, obviously it's not to the degree of a Milroe, who's like one of the better athletes we've seen a quarterback come out in a while, right? And obviously needs a lot of work, and we'll see what happens with Seattle behind Sam Darnold of development. But like Trinidad Chambliss, when he was possibly going to be in the drafts, maybe not, whatever, that was intriguing, because you're like, he's a one-year starter on the SEC level, and he has athleticism, and maybe that's a guy that still has a lot of developmental upside there, even if he's not as talented as like a Jalen Milroe, for instance. But the minute he goes back, it's like, Ty Simpson has some intrigue because he's a one-year starter, so you do say, like, maybe you haven't seen the best of him. But after that, it's like, guys, I know what Garrett Nussmeier is at this point. Like, I know what he is. I know what Drew Aller is. Like, I know what these guys are. Like, there's no intrigue in terms of upside of development because we're talking about a bunch of multi-year stars. I know what Taylon Green is. I know what all these guys are. So, I mean, unfortunately, I would like to just be like, yeah, actually, there's one guy that really piques my interest, and I'm super excited about him in terms of development. But, I mean, after Mendoza, if you're trying to buy yourself into a quarterback, you're either talking about the potential second year of development with Ty Simpson and beyond, or you're talking about a guy where you're betting on a floor more than anything, right? Like, oh, Garrett Nussmeier played, he's a multi-year starter in the SEC. That's fun, I guess. Drew Aller is big and strong, which has been since his freshman year of college, and yet he never really got any better. You're just trying to convince yourself in something that I just kind of, it feels like a ghost conversation. Like you're convincing yourself of something that's not really there.
So this is interesting because the whole floor to ceiling thing, I think is fascinating. And I want to go to wide receiver, right? Because, I understand Tate, the route running, big play potential, Jordan Tyson. And then there's this guy, Makai Lemon, where the floor is extremely high.
Mm-hmm.
The ceiling, I don't know. Slot guy, like, is he Amon-Ra? When you look at a position and you think floor to ceiling, is wide receiver the one in which you think you'd compromise the most or not?
That's a good question. I think it depends on what style of wide receiver they are and like the majority alignment that they're going to play. Like a slot receiver, to your point, is one that I'm much more willing to settle on the floor than compromise for the ceiling. Like that's, but like for a X
like
receiver,
a DK Metcalf or something, where you're like, hey, I'll take my chances on the
yes. Well, that's it right there, right? It's the boundary receiver position more than anything. It's like that height, weight, speed combination. The floor gets you in trouble there because it's like if that guy isn't a great athlete and he can't potentially win one-on-one all the time and he's more of like a catch point guy that just kind of has to do some of the nuanced little things, that guy typically fails in the NFL because he just doesn't have that ability to consistently win one-on-one in those tighter windows. But for a guy that, like you pointed to DK Metcalf, he's a perfect combination. I'm much more willing to bet on that big time upside at X receiver as a boundary guy because I do think that those traits at that position matter a lot more. At slot, it doesn't matter as much. Like it just doesn't. So like if you are a incredibly instinctive player and you have baseline attributes, you can be a solid at least player in the NFL. If you're a guy like a Makai Lemon or you mentioned Amon-Ra St. Brown, like those guys are not dynamic athletes, but their intelligence on top of their short area explosiveness, on top of those baseline traits, that's how you potentially become really good football players. So I really do think it depends on the alignments of slot receiver. I'm much more willing to go to the floor. A big boundary X, I'm much more willing to prioritize the ceiling. Z's kind of like a combination of both because I do think you could be strategic with how you use that guy. If you line him up on the line of scrimmage at times, if you maximize release points, get him off the line of scrimmage, short motions, like you can help a guy like that. So I think he kind of lends in the middle a little bit, but I do think that it really depends on what type of receiver we're talking about.
Interesting. That just leads me to my next questions, and I'll get off wide receivers because I got to maximize your talents here. Denzel Boston is a guy I cringed when I saw some Ty Simpsons to the Steelers in the mock draft. I was like, I would literally jump. I've seen some Boston, some Denzels. He's rated. I put him. He was my just miss. I think I rated the top 5 wide receivers, and I had Concepcion. I had Lemon. I had Tyson. I had Tate. And I had somebody ahead of Boston, but I can't remember who.
Is it Fields?
Maybe. When I look at a guy, like if I'm just comparing, like let's say a Concepcion to a Boston. Concepcion really good after the catch, kind of dynamic. Boston a little more polished, ready-made. Is that again to your point of what you were just talking about? Where I'm ready, where I'm willing to play the guy versus what I think his top side capability is.
Yeah, no, I think so. I'm actually slightly lower.
Is like pretty, like he's dynamic.
Yeah, I also think he fits today's game. Like if he finds his way to one of these, one of these Shanahan offenses, right? One of these
in San Francisco, he'd be a killer.
Yeah. And I think if he finds his way to any of those disciples that kind of prioritize manipulating, creating space, I do think that he could be a guy that is tremendous, right? Because he is lightning in a bottle, like dynamic after the catch, really good in space, good feel for space, and he's got that incredible acceleration. So I think his fit, I think, is going to matter a lot. But I do think that there's a lot of copycats in the league right now that do prioritize the same type of thing. So I'm actually not as worried about his floor as a player, maybe as I would have been in the past, because, I mean, in the past, it's like, if he doesn't hit in 2 different spots, it's like, he might need some, like, legit development in some areas. But if he lands in San Francisco, if he lands with the Rams, if he lands with the Jets, even like all these types of teams that kind of do some of the same things now offensively, schematically, I think that he'll be okay. And I think that he has those requisite traits that are going to get you super excited. Denzel Boston is different because I'm actually like slightly lower on Denzel, and it actually sounds like we're kind of relatively in the same ballpark. Like, he's just not a top 5 guy for me, right?
Yep, I agree with you.
He's not a dynamic athlete. He's a really good technician. He's got a big frame. He wins. I mean, his contested catch percentage, I think, was like 77%. So, like, he converts those one-on-one plays in the air, which is great. I mean, it's a baseline good thing. But is he going to separate against man coverage, especially in the intermediate to deep portion of the fields? I have my questions about that. Like, I do. I think functionally speaking, he's going to be a good wide receiver in a room, but is he ever going to ascend to being the number 1 option in a room and you feel great about your passing offense because he is the number 1 option in the room? I kind of have I have my doubts about that potentially being that type of upside for a Denzel Boston. So I like Denzel Boston. I would be totally fine with Denzel Boston somewhere in the 2nd round because I do think he has potential to be a good number 2 receiver, especially in the NFL. But in the 1st round conversation, I'm not really in the wavelength of trying to find guys that are just really good number 2s, you know? Like, I'm trying to find a number 1 potential option to a passing game, a high-end dude. I just don't necessarily see Denzel Boston as that type of guy in this class.
Is Tyron Montgomery better than those guys?
I mean, to be honest with you, I have not seen enough real film on Tyron Montgomery outside of what he was able to do at the All-American Bowl and was able to do at the Senior Bowl. It was super impressive, obviously, but
worked those guys.
He did. And that's the great, you know, what's funny actually about that though, is that, so I texted a scout about him after that. And I was like, hey dude, like what's up with this guy? And he's like, buddy, like our staff has like priority free agent grade on him going into this week. No one expected him to do that, which was interesting because what does the All-Star circuit make you do? It makes you go check your work, right? Like, it's like a math problem. Like, you need to go back and check your work there of like, did I see the right thing on film? So people are going to be flocking to D3 film right now to see, like, did I miss something with Tyron Montgomery, or was he as good as what we saw in the Senior Bowl? Like, what is the world that we're actually living in? Because unfortunately for him, he's not going to the combine, right? So, like, you're just going to get the pro day numbers on him. So the staffs right now, I'm sure several of them, many of them possibly, are going back to that film and saying, was the Senior Bowl version what we're really getting? Or did we see something else on film? Or is it somewhere in the middle? Like, that's kind of where the interesting decision-making happens from now on.
All right. Let me ask you this, because this is fascinating. That's why I'm proud of myself for actually listening to gain information versus listening just to ask the next question, because you just totally threw me for a loop.
Okay.
I'm looking at these defensive guys, right? And I'm seeing Reese, and I'm seeing David Bailey and Caleb Downs and Reuben Bain, and I get position-specific needs, sure. So you can set that aside or you can factor it into your answer.
Okay.
But let me ask you about a guy. I just want a couple of compare and contrast. Like a guy like Reuben Bain Jr. or David Bailey, who you know are super duper productive. They get the stats. You watch and you're like, huh. But Arvell Reese gets the nod as an off-ball linebacker, which is, in my opinion, hard to assess. He's like the consensus guy. What is it about Reese where you roll tape as an off-ball guy and you're willing to forego actual stats when you watch him?
It's a fair question, and I have actually had this discussion many times with people, and I think that it is a fascinating one to your points, is that
you clearly know what I'm asking.
Oh, 100%. I mean, because here's the full context of Arvell Reese. Arvell Reese is 6'4". He's 245 pounds. He's super explosive. Like physically, you see it, right? Like he's got all those measurables. And I do think that you factor in, he's also a 1-year starter at Ohio State. Like he played in 2024 behind Cody Simon, but he was a 1-year starter at Ohio State. So there is more meat on the bone potentially for development for this player where you're like, man, year 2, year 3, like this could be a potential all-pro player. I think he has that type of upside to him. He's such a fascinating player, though, because I have spoken to teams. So what's weird about Arvell Reese is that it's not so much a tug and pull between teams of like, we only see him as an edge, we only see him as a linebacker. I've talked to several teams that have him rated as both on boards. So he's on 2 different boards in terms of what his projection will be. And obviously, depending on his style, if it will fit into the defense that you do run, will be a big factor into this. But I really do think that in a class of, and specifically if we're projecting him as an edge rusher, which I actually do see him as an inside linebacker that can do a lot of fun things in sub and a lot of interesting things in sub.
He's an off-ball second-level guy.
Yeah, I think he's a second-level guy too. And I think that you can bring a lot of cool second-level pressures with him, and you can be super diverse with him. But I do think that down the stretch where it was perceived he lacked production in the second half of the season, one, I do think that the coaching staff used him differently in the second half of the year when you look at the blitz rates and different things, which is just strange. Like, I would love to actually have a conversation with Matt Patricia, the defensive coordinator for Ohio State, and just ask him. Like, I would generally love some insight into, like, why did you kind of change your ideology of how to utilize Arvell Reese? But I really do think that Arvell gets mischaracterized a little bit in terms of he's kind of billed as like this super raw inside linebacker, and I actually completely disagree. I think that he is usually, not like the majority of the time, in the proper spots, correct fit there, and he puts guys and other people around him in more advantageous situations to make plays because he is such a tough dude to deal with coming downhill. So I think the baseline is actually higher, I think, for Arvell Reese than some people give him credit for. I don't consider him a boom or bust prospect. I think his floor is actually decently high. And I think that upside is what you're getting super excited with, because for David Bailey, the upside is still there, but he is a 4-year player. Like, we've seen him 3 years at Stanford, 1 year at Texas Tech. So like, he's a much more known commodity, and he's probably just going to be a solid run defender on the NFL level. I don't necessarily see the ceiling. Bain? Say it one more time. Sorry.
Is that how you feel about Bain? Just because you've seen
it is. Yeah. Well, so Bain's interesting because I still think that there's some teams that are going to view him as more of an interior player than a true edge player, which is like the fascinating part of the conversation. But to a degree, yes. I mean, I think that there's still some things that Bain can improve upon, but I don't think that he has I think he's got a great baseline skill set of being super physical, being pretty nuanced. Like, he's a great run defender. He's got those baseline things that are really fun. But I do think that there is a question of, with his lack of length and lack of, I mean, he corners well for his body type, but he's not like the most bendy guy of all time. So, and the closing speed is just very average to below average, in my opinion. When you kind of package all that stuff together, is Ruben Bain going to be a lot better than he is today in like 2 or 3 years? I'm not really sure about that. Like, I think he'll be a good NFL player. Will he be a Pro Bowl NFL player? I don't think so. Will he be a plus NFL player? Potentially. So I think that he's a good player, a good starter to a potentially very good starter in the NFL. But I really do think that it's the upside that is kind of is boasting the conversation of valuing Reese in a draft that maybe doesn't have a ton of value in some other priority areas.
So Ryan, let me ask you this one, and I'm fascinated by this because we were just talking about the NBA draft and college basketball prospects, and I'm known as a little bit of a hater. So I'm curious, like, put your hater hat on and tell me who's the guy that people are just in love with that you're looking at and you're just like, I don't see it. That's not my guy. I have serious doubts here.
Oh, I got one.
Put on your hater hat. Who do you got for it?
I mean, there's a few guys I could go to be honest. I'm gonna stick in the Midwest with you guys for a second. I'm gonna go to Iowa with Jennings Dunker. I think that's the guy for me. Of like, I see Jennings Dunker, the offensive tackle for Iowa, in so many first round mock drafts now, where I'm just like, I don't really know what I'm looking at here, man. Because when I look at Jennings Dunker, who's the starting right tackle the last couple years for Iowa, he is a really high effort blocker, has some great moments in the run game that get you super excited, but I really think he lacks traits. Like, I do not think he's got great foot quickness. I think his redirection is below average. And some of the weird things is I think his overall power profile is solid. I wouldn't necessarily call it plus, but because some of the like more impactful blocks that he has is actually on the move, which is interesting because I don't think he's a great athlete overall. I think he plays just with great effort. He's got good latch strength or just ability to sustain blocks. But when I look at him, I do think that some people have the notion of he's going to get a chance at offensive tackle and he'll fail himself inside potentially. But I really think that he lacks traits to stay at offensive tackle in the NFL in terms of redirection skills. I think he's a poor pass blocker on the islands, on the outside. I think on the inside has a more upside to him. But I really do think that you could find Jennings dunkers in the first 4 rounds and several different players, right? Like the same type of football player. So Jennings Dunker is one of those guys where I'm just like, and I think that for the most part, the people that I do trust in terms of having the best insight into NFL boards, like Dane Brugler and those types of guys, they seem to be lower on Jennings Dunker. Like I'm kind of lower on Jennings Dunker. So I'm like, this is probably somewhat more media created of him being a first round pick because I put out a tweet and I was like, I think that we like the idea of Jennings Dunker more than we like actually liking a player like Jennings Dunker because he's an Iowa offensive lineman. He's got that badge of honor to him, right? And he's got this cool mullet and his name is Jennings Dunker and he's got this weirdo diet. Like everything about him on paper is like pretty cool. But when you put on the film, I just don't think it matches the hype. So Jennings Dunker would probably be one of the top 2 or 3 guys that kind of fit that category for me.
In a similar vein, out of the same state, and he flirted with Iowa coming out of the portal, then left again. That's Caden Proctor for me. Like
it's another good one. Yeah.
I just don't. You better be careful. I just don't know how much he likes playing. But let me get you out on this. Caden Proctor. That was the first one. I'm like, oh, that's Proctor right away.
You know what's funny is I was literally dogging on Caden Proctor on Twitter last night. So yeah,
I was gonna say I thought you might go Proctor because I thought I'd seen some of your content on Twitter where you're like, I just don't get it.
Just like it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Anyway, let me get you here out on this because this will really show off your expertise for you.
Okay.
What's the difference between McNeil Warren at safety and Caleb Downs?
So it's funny is that they kind of play the same role in their defenses. One at Toledo, obviously, one at Ohio State, Alabama before. They both play kind of the same role in a defense. They play more of that short zone, robber, box, alley type. Like you want these guys playing more towards the line of scrimmage and playing the post, like playing single high. Like that's not really either of Downs or McNeil Warren's game.
You like Warren's box safety in the top 10? Because I agree with you on the box safety thing.
Yeah.
I just think it's lofty for a box guy in the league now.
I think the flashes, and so I think 2 things that go into Caleb Downs' pluses here in terms of his evaluation is one, I think that he had a lot of great moments in the slot over the last couple of years. So I do think that you can value him potentially as that short zone guy, but also could play some big nickel, could play in the slot a little bit that we're kind of seeing in vogue right now in the NFL, which helps. And I also think that it's just generally not a good draft class up top. So I've been fighting that fight, and I fought it especially before the season because I'm just like, if Kyle Hamilton and some of these other safeties aren't going in the top 10, I don't think that Caleb Downs should go in the top 10. And while I still do actually believe that, I do forgive it a little bit because I'm like, it's just not a great class, man. Like, it's just not. Because for me, you got to compartmentalize the traits of guys, and you love the box stuff. You love the short area stuff. That's really cool. But if I'm drafting a guy in the top 10, I want a guy that can impact from depth as well. And I just don't necessarily think that Caleb Downs is ever going to be that guy. But to like your original question, McNeil Warren is 6'2" plus. He's 208 to 210 pounds. Like he's a bigger body safety that's playing the same role. So I do think there's some value there. I think the one part that maybe differentiates him a little bit, because I'm a huge Emmanuel McNeil Warren fan. I have been actually for a couple years, even when he was playing with Quinyon Mitchell a couple years ago when he was a true sophomore. But I do think that the one differentiation that you have is it's hard to quantify just how instinctive and intelligent Caleb Downs is. Like that guy is just in the right spot all the time. Like you can count on one hand probably this season of blown assignments in terms of him just not being in the right spot. Like he is a rare player in terms of football intelligence, which I think is a slight differentiator. But to your overall question, would I be infatuated with taking Caleb Downs in the top 10? No, like I wouldn't be so happy about it, but I do think you're getting a baseline good football player, and if that's what you're looking for in a class that kind of lacks that upper echelon talent, I get it. I get it in this class.
That is Ryan Robert from A to Z Sports. You can follow him on Twitter at Rise and Draft. Ryan, appreciate the time. As always, great stuff. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, fellas. Have a great day.
Ryan.
That's Ryan Roberts. Going to take a real quick break here. We're going to talk to Gary Sharp.
Do we have to?
Let's just take a real quick 30.
All right. Shane, make it a 30.
Yeah, just real quick one here. We'll talk to Gary Sharp, voice of Omaha basketball, coming up next on Hurrdat Sports Live.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's my responsibility and our responsibility as a staff to help them navigate that. And, it's not easy for us either. But, 28 hours ago, 30 hours ago, whatever it was, Josh was speaking at his mom's funeral. So a 21-year-old, shouldn't have to do that. And he was incredible. He's a pillar of strength, I think for his family during a very difficult time. And for our guys to see how he's navigated this and handled this and shows up every day without any excuses has been pretty incredible. But I've talked before about how young people like me as a coach and our staff, we take losses, we hold on to them longer than players. We don't get over the loss until you play the next game. Players have a way. They played AU basketball where we got beat at 11 o'clock. Where are we going to lunch? We play again at 2. So you have to get over it pretty fast. This is going to be harder to get over.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Hey, it's Franklin. Coming over to play.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live.
Wow.
And that is Franklin joining us now. Gary, how are we doing this morning?
Good morning. This is quite the bizarro world, and I appreciate the music. Thank you. It has been a while.
So I was kind of confused. Am I going with G-Funk, G-Sharp, Franklin? Like G-Unit? Like you have a ton, man. Which one should I go with?
I don't know. You know how Franklin was born? It was born on a 1:30 in the morning on a drunk phone call to Big Red Overreaction, and it has stuck. So at the time, I did not know that it was a turtle, a cartoon turtle. Now I know a lot about Franklin, so I'll just stick with that. How we doing, boys? Welcome to Thomas J. Whitmore Day in America here on President's Day.
Oh, fudge. Did you like the Sunday afternoon tip to get you, this is a pretty cool day for you where you can just kind of chill a little bit?
What do you mean? Because I don't have anything to do today?
Oh, that's
Listen, I've been you. I'm not making one.
You know what I did? I liked the noon tip-off yesterday. Everything is for TV. Us radio guys, we get no love. But yeah, it's that time of the year. It's less than 4 weeks from Selection Sunday. So it's an exciting time for college basketball. And, it's always nice when you walk out of the arena and it's 65 degrees and you just won a game. So it's been a good week for Omaha men's basketball.
I love to see that you're still a weather baby. You've got rid of the cold. You got to be loving this. Are you trying to get out and swing the sticks at all?
Oh yes, that's what I'm doing today. Now I'm overcoming. I apologize. I have this cold that I'm on the back end of, but it's been a bad cold. So I apologize if my voice is like sexually turning you on because of the Barry White deepness of it. And maybe I shouldn't apologize for that because some people need a little loving in their life. But yes, the weather is great outside. This is fantastic. Like back in the day, if people remember this, when the late John Sanders was around, he would call up like Peru State or Bob Gates at Omaha and say, hey, the weather's going to be 70. You want to come down to Buck Belcher? We'll give you some Valentino's pizza and $50 if you come down here and play a doubleheader. So it's great. I love this weather.
And it inevitably would end up in a fight because we'd be going out for spring ball. It would be like, wait a minute. Who scheduled a game today? This wasn't like...
Yes,
is still in the outfield. Yeah, those.
Yeah, mouthpieces were embedded in the outfield. It drove guys like Eddie Anderson crazy.
Oh, good
Jamal Strong.
Good pull.
Yeah. I'm an old guy.
You guys are getting hot right at the right time, right? Obviously the league standings aren't gettable right now with what's happening at the top, but playing your best basketball kind of right now, you feel?
Yeah, it's been an interesting year. I think there's a couple of things that all came together at the beginning of the year. There was the hangover of going to the NCAA tournament last year, and you lost your two best players in Markel Sutton to LSU and JJ White to Baylor. But there were a lot of returning guys off that roster, and they got patted on the back, and they should have, because that was a hell of an accomplishment for them. But I think they carried it a little bit further into the season. And then right before school starts, you lose one of your teammates to a tragedy, and Dang Mayor passing away the day before he was going to come back to Omaha. And, you're 18 to 22, and you're dealing with loss of life of somebody you become tight with over the course of 3 months. I think that lingered a lot more than we could have all anticipated. So you have those two things. And then a guy that was going to be your starting 5-man in a league that doesn't have great starting bigs, but Isaac Adekane was going to be a double-double guy and an all-conference guy, and he was going to log 30 minutes. He blows out his ankle in an exhibition, a closed-door exhibition, 3 plays into it, and he's out for the season. So all of a sudden, you're playing guys that you expected to play 10 to 12 minutes, or Brock Scholl from Omaha Scud, who's a freshman, you're going to redshirt him. All of a sudden, those guys got to play 15 to 20 minutes, and you got to adjust your offense. And then as the season went along, Omaha became a big deal on the schedule for teams like Abilene Christian. Oh, that team went to the NCAA tournament last year. And I don't think Omaha was equipped to face that. Then they had injuries. But I think one thing Chris Crutchfield has done really well, and you guys have gotten to know him, he's really, really positive. He always keeps it above board, always trying to keep it moving, is he kept reminding these guys that they're a good basketball team. They just need something good to happen. But if you stick with the process, then things are finally going to work out. And they haven't been blown out in their losses in the Summit League. They've been very competitive, but they've had games where they've missed a ton of free throws, or they've just blown leads, and you're like, how did that happen? But they made a change last weekend in Fargo. They inserted a guy who has not played very much. His name's Valentino Simon. Ironically, had a great day yesterday on the day after Valentine's Day. He's a human jumping jack. He's 6'6". He's from the Nassau Bahamas, one of the nicest guys you'll find, but he hadn't played much this year. And he redshirted last year after coming from junior college, and they inserted him because of matchups. And all of a sudden they found something that they liked in their offense. And then he started again Thursday against St. Thomas. They knocked off St. Thomas. He started yesterday. He had 11, 5, and 6, and he's added energy. And all of a sudden the other 4 guys on the floor look like they're connected and they're playing well. And, it's 3 days in Sioux Falls to get to the tournament. It's a 1-bid league, but you can't be limping going there. And I think Omaha has found the right formula, guys.
Gary, as you mentioned Coach Crutchfield and kind of his demeanor and how he's handled this team all year, how much do you think that impacts this team's ability to believe that they can go to Sioux Falls and win 3 games in a row, despite what's happened during a lot of the regular season?
I think that's spot on, Ravi. I mean, he's kind of reminded guys, you've been here before, and you have an opportunity to do it again. And it's not like in this league, North Dakota State's 11-1, and Omaha's lost at the last second to them at home. Then they lost by 8 up in Fargo. It's not like the Max Asmus, Oral Roberts team, or the Baylor Shireman South Dakota State team that were unblemished in the regular season, that you went to Sioux Falls and you went, nobody's got a shot of beating them. Mm-hmm. I think everybody looks at North Dakota State and they go, man, you can get them on a good night. You can get St. Thomas. So I think that keeps the hope alive for Omaha. But I think you're going to find out, and they have 3 games left. They have Oral Roberts on senior night at home on Wednesday, and then they go to South Dakota and St. Thomas. I think you're going to find out that Omaha feels like they're one of the top 3 teams, and I think they'll show that over the last 3 games.
G-Funk, you're looking at like what St. Thomas has been able to do these first couple of years, making the transition. You get the news on North Dakota State and them going to, the Mountain West. If you were kind of in this advisory role, because you've seen teams try to make this, maybe basketball is going to be a little different than football, but Omaha's tried it and in trying to flourish. Is there a cautionary tale, or do you see it based on some of the blueprints that you've seen right under your nose?
Yeah, I'm worried about the Summit League. It's been a league since Omaha's been in it, and this is their 15th year. It's a league that's dominated by the Dakotas, and you have to be very wary of that. But remember, Denver is leaving to go to the WCC, so the WCC lost Gonzaga, but they still have Santa Clara and St. Mary's, and now Denver is taking everything to the WCC. So the Summit League is down to 8 teams. They've approached a couple of teams like Lindenwood and Western Illinois that have declined to join the league. You've got North Dakota State now playing football in the Mountain West. You got Kansas City, you got Oral Roberts, you got some major markets, you got St. Thomas, who a lot of people are looking 10 years down the road. Are they a candidate for the A-10? Are they a candidate for the Big East because of how they're growing in the market that they're in? I think Omaha has to keep their options open. I think there's some advantages of being in the Summit League, but there's also, I think Omaha wants to take their athletic program to the next level. They announced the huge project that is already funded for an athletic facility that they've never had. So, it's been a while since they've been Division I. They've got great facilities, baseball, softball, Baxter Arena, but now they're going to have everybody under one roof, and they're going to start to act like a true Division I athletic program and trying to move it forward. And it helps to have the foresight of Adrian Dow as their athletic director that can see down the road. I think they're always looking. I think they like the Summit League, but there's a lot of people that are interested in Omaha athletics and the Omaha market.
What's the, ideally for you, and I guess this is a practical idealism for you. In 10 years, where would Omaha be?
Missouri Valley Conference.
You kind of all right. So where does that? You haven't really wavered there. What are you seeing happen where you're like, okay, I like where this is going? Because you saw the MVC at the tail end before it got the jump start, right? And so you've seen both sides of it. What is it about the NBC that's captivating for you?
Well, I think, hockey is separate. So hockey's in the best hockey conference in America, in the NCHC, and they're going to stay there. But I think Omaha wants to be a men's basketball program. And I think that's one of the hesitations with the Summit League is the Summit League has good men's basketball. They also have good women's basketball, but they need to promote men's basketball more. And I think Omaha wants to be a men's basketball school and then let every other sport, and I'm saying this to Mike Hurd, who's off to a great start as a softball coach.
Softball.
Well, he's a dude. Mike, you know this, Damon. He's a dude. That him and Bill, who's at Gretna, who's got Alexis Jensen pitching at Nebraska. They're on a roll. But Omaha wants to be a men's basketball conference, and in the Missouri Valley Conference, it's men's basketball. You've got a charter. You got to spend a certain amount, and I think Omaha fits more in that world. And I also think it would be new blood coming into Omaha, where you could play Drake in Northern Iowa and kind of re-energize the fan base, because I think there's some of the fans that look and go, hey, weren't you playing those teams when you're in the NCC in Division II? And I don't think there's a connection to the Summit League in Omaha. Creighton had a great connection to the Missouri Valley. The Missouri Valley Conference loves Omaha. It's not, they kicked the tires when Trev was the athletic director about looking at, could Omaha be in the Missouri Valley Conference? At the time, the budgets were nowhere close to what the rest of the Missouri Valley is. But I think times have changed, and I think the Missouri Valley Conference would be very wise to look at Omaha, where they are right now and where they can be in getting back into this market.
Hey, who got the best round of coaches that were hired? With DeVries and you love what's going on with McCollum and Iowa. Yeah. Who got the best round of coaching hires, basketball or this year's football?
I'm going to say basketball slightly. I think D-Rock going to Indiana and what he's going to do. Ben McCollum's going to be very good at Iowa. They've got some flaws. I think they're going to play with desperation tomorrow night against Nebraska. Yeah, the Big Ten all of a sudden said, hey, the SEC started to elevate with really good basketball hires. There's some really good basketball coaches that have been in the Big Ten for a long time. Now with some of these openings, what can we add? And I think they've done a really good job adding that. And it's going to bring up the league. It brings up the bottom of the league, which, is a big benefit where you can say, hey, could the Big 12 or the Big 10, get, 12 teams in the Big 10 tournament instead of the usual 10 that they're getting?
Wow. So, it's weird. You saw Chesney with the surprise kind of, I think, decision to go to UCLA. Obviously, Penn State gets Campbell and Michigan State gets Fitz. And have you had a chance to look at Penn State's schedule? Talk about a solid, man. Matt Campbell's got a nice schedule heading into year one at Penn State.
Yeah, he's a very smart guy. Everybody's been, he had somebody on his staff when USC was open, before Lincoln Riley got it. People, USC wanted to talk to Matt Campbell, and he wouldn't return their phone calls. And I think he looked at the situation, and the finances at Penn State are much greater than Iowa State and being in the Big Ten compared to the Big 12 and what your future can be. But I think he's always been very smart. he's had a lot of options. The NFL kicked the tires, USC kicked the tires, other schools have kicked the tires. But I think he looked at from top to bottom on where he can go and be successful right away. Because that's important. Man, if you go to a place that you take a jump up and you don't follow that jump up in job, like your performance doesn't match the quality of the job, boy, you're just setting yourself up for failure, and you're setting yourself up to be behind the 8 ball. So I think he was very coy in waiting it out, and then when it came along and vetting it to say, okay, this is the job that I'm going to leave. Because Matt Campbell once told me, Damon and Ravi, he said, you know what? I love Ames. They're good to me. I can coach my daughter's softball team and nobody gives me any guff. I can do that. I can do that in Ames. Well, he's, I don't know if he'll still do that in State College, but it's a much higher profile job where people are going to be like, oh, he was just a good Iowa State coach. But yeah, I think he's a smart guy that looked over the situation. I think Cignetti was the same way at Indiana. He looked at the situation. What can I do? Where can we go? Who do I have with me? And then you can say, we can be good right away.
Just saw, sorry, Rob.
No, you're good.
Just saw Woods up at Westside. Did you like what Michigan State did with Fitz? That's staff. I mean, he got Bulla from Notre Dame. He took Woods from Iowa. Like, quietly, he put together. That's a good staff.
Yeah, that's what I think. In all three of us, we are big fans of LeVar Woods. I think he is the future head coach at Iowa. But don't you guys think it was one of those things where they said, "Hey, if you want to replace Kirk, you got to go somewhere else. Learn a little bit under somebody else, a really respected coach." And we know Iowa's staff has great respect for Pat Fitzgerald. His son is at Iowa, and Pat has been around the program post-Northwestern. I think they said, go there, learn under Fitz, have success, and then you'll be able to come back instead of being on the staff and there's a promotion. But that's a great addition for Pat Fitzgerald because he's one of the best. I know he's a special teams guy. I think he's one of the best coaches, period, that's the game has right now.
I do like the staff Fitzgerald's been put together. I was a little skeptical about the hire. I think we forget what he was before he was fired, and we're like, oh, he got kind of a raw deal, whether he did or not. But the dude won, I think.
Oh, without Hanklewicz.
Yeah.
The dude won 3 games in 2 years before he got fired, or 4 games in 2 years before he got fired. Like, it was pretty rough there for Fitz before he left Northwestern. So I think putting together a good staff was critical for him.
Yeah. I mean, hey, the Big Ten knows what they're doing. That's the Big Ten opener in East Lansing. That's a vitally important game for both sides. I will say that.
I know how you like to scour like staffs and stuff. I'm just blown away at like the coordinators and the assistants positionless in the Big Ten Conference. Like from a coaching prowess standpoint, the league is just legit, man, top to bottom.
Well, I think it forces you to be good, not just with coordinators. It forces you to be good with your guys that are in the trenches. And you've got money to spend, and you've got attractiveness. I mean, there's a lot of coaches that look at the Big Ten as a path to being a head coach or a coordinator somewhere, and because it's happened before. And I think I would like to see more poaching of staffs in the league. That's what's happened in the SEC. The SEC.
What they do, man.
but we should see it more. The SEC poaches each other's staff. I would love to see it more in the Big Ten, but you've got to be good. You've got to be good day to day, and you got to be good from top to bottom. There are a lot of great head coaches in the league. There's a lot of really good coordinators. But, man, how many schools have exceptional offensive line, defensive line coaches, linebacker coaches, all of those things? I think a good sign of the Big Ten that shows you that the league, which has won 3 straight national championships, is in it to win it, is look at the special teams coordinator positions, how much they're paid in this league, and who's filling those roles. It's not like or it's not like a collection of guys. It's one dedicated guy. And I think if I look at a league and they take that phase seriously, then that shows me that this league is serious about being successful from top to bottom. Because if you're not, you get exposed on Saturdays.
Pause for concern then for Nebraska with how they kind of handled the transition?
I'm curious to see how it works. The messaging is key, the excitement. But the thing to keep in mind is the punter and place kicker are still there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They were pretty good last year. I think they're pretty good, period. It's just, now do you pick the right people to be involved in special teams? I think Eckler left behind a nice little start. You're not going to find Eckler again. But you know what? You got his messaging and you got his attention. And now you have to find the right people who's returning. But I think I'm better off if the punter and place kicker is still there because they were pretty good last year.
Gary, is there, I know we're kind of off season here a little bit, but is there a coordinator hire in the Big Ten that you're just like fascinated by?
Rich at Nebraska. I know that's probably an easy layup. Here we started talking about basketball.
I thought you may go to Michigan.
So that's
their
second Michigan is the one that I'm
see. I think Whittingham made a great. I think he put together a staff.
Hey, how mad do you think he was at how it kind of flipped the narrative at Utah?
Well,
the mayor to really okay. I see how this is going.
Yeah, that they did him wrong. You know what? By the way, he was playing Big Ten football in the Pac-12 before he got this Big Ten job. I mean, I always looked at them and I said, they're closer to a Big Ten team than a lot of teams I watch in the Big Ten. But what he did for Utah football and for him to leave like that, and you know what? And I think he left, he didn't steal the cupboard. They're still going to be competitive. But for them to kind of, poo-poo him, I think that's wrong because he put Utah football on the map and Michigan got bailed out because he's a really good hire that acts like the Big Ten. He plays Big Ten football now coming into the Big Ten, and his ability to put together a staff. I will say one thing. I don't know him at all. I've interviewed him one time. You can tell the people that have gone to work for him, boy, he must be a really good head coach in terms of letting his assistants do their job, and people want to come work for him. I think they're scary. I think him at Michigan is very, very scary. However long he is there, he knows ball and he knows this league, even though he has not been in this league.
Hard to believe in like 14, 15, we're working and people are like throwing Whittingham's name out for the next head coach at Nebraska. And what were the fans saying though? Some of them were like, was he too old?
Yeah.
Defunct, that was 10 years ago.
I know.
And now he's at Michigan.
I know. And remember, he was sitting in Salt Lake City waiting for Harvey and Sean to stop by after they left San Francisco after meeting with Mike Riley.
That's something. All right, let me fast forward to, so you get, there's no limit. You get your notepad, you get to ask questions, you get to do the Franklin thing, the guy that's never met a stranger, right? And rule says, hey, you get an hour. Any position group, but we're not overlapping. So O-line doesn't go against D-line. Quarterbacks don't throw against wide receivers. You get an hour with the coaches to watch practice, but you can't see anything other than that position group. Where are you starting?
Defensive line.
D-line.
Because you know why?
Go ahead.
I think, and I think that's going to dictate this season because we're going to find out last year, like Nebraska basketball this year, all the parts fit together. What you want to do as a coach, you have the options to do that. Last year, what you wanted to do, you didn't have the options. And then you tried to put them together, and we've all tried to put together a puzzle that is missing pieces or the pieces don't fit, and the puzzle is a mess. Nebraska basketball, everything fits together. I think this year on the defensive line, you finally found a coach who is a technician that gets down. And I'm a bigger fan. I like spring ball starting earlier because I like to judge off guys with a hand in the dirt than a hand on a mat. Okay? I think getting out of the lab and getting on the field is the best way to figure out guys and how good they can be. So I like them starting early so they know what they have. But I'm looking at defensive line. I'm looking at guys that were on a milk carton last year that you went, whoa, what happened to them from the year before? Well, they were playing the wrong position. They were being utilized the wrong way. Riley Van Poppel's a prime example. So we're about to find out is those guys now in a system that fits them better, do they get back to the way they were playing? Because last year was a mess on that side of the ball, and that can't be a mess again. And keep this in mind. I think the coaches feel the same way, Damon and Ravi, because it's not like they cleaned house. They cleaned house with the position coach, but they didn't clean house with players. They essentially have one guy off of that group from last year, and that's Keona Davis. Everybody else is back. So if it was the players, we're getting rid of the players and we're bringing a bunch of new guys. Now they've had additions. So that's where I'm going to look because I think that dictates the tone of this team. If you can be good and it's a trenches game, if you can be good on the defensive line and those guys can make the next jump up and they can be well coached where they play it the right way, then I think there's a lot of things you can do behind them.
If you get 3 days in a row, you start with D-line. Are the first 3 stops you make for that hour all on defense?
No, because I'm very intrigued by the offensive line because I think your offensive line is set.
Is that day 2?
Yeah, that'd be day 2.
Okay, and then who's day 3?
I want to see quarterbacks because I think for the first time in a while, if Nebraska needed to play 3 quarterbacks, they wouldn't have huge drop-offs from one to another. They essentially, for multiple years, have only had 2 quarterbacks that you would trust. I think they could get to 3 quarterbacks.
I mean, if that, a lot of times.
Well, Kalen can win you a game. You know that.
Yeah,
yep.
I think there's a lot
can
of
win you a game.
DJ can win you a game.
Obviously,
that's the first actually said that.
I think there's been a lot of years you didn't have 2 quarterbacks you felt good about, right? I mean, like
I thought
having
you'd go
3
to
is
linebackers.
crazy.
Well, I mean, we could spend all day on this, and I'd eventually get to linebackers. I tell you what, I think one of the best players on this roster plays linebacker at Nebraska, and he just got here.
Oh, Chambliss?
I think Chambliss is a dude. I think the fact that they got him and he's playing in the same system, but more than that, guys, I think he's playing the same position will go a long way. I think adding a guy like Chambliss at that level and then McDougal on the back end, and they're playing the same position in the same defense, I think is a huge start. And they're also very talented.
So the nickel, for you, when you're doing your depth chart, the nickel will just be the nickel. The post safety will still be the boundary safety, and then the rover will be like the X factor. So that's how you can. But the nickel will just be the nickel.
Yep.
So you need to find a rover type, and then whoever's going to play the post.
You need to find hit stickers, man. You need to find that guy that defensive coordinators or offensive coordinators are afraid to go into that no-fly zone. That wide receivers are afraid to go there because they're going to get popped.
Those stupid mesh concepts where they just get to cross the field like freely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Come on, man.
Gotta make somebody scared.
It's a no-fly zone.
Gary, we appreciate the time as always. I'm sure we will talk again soon. We will gotta check in on more Omaha basketball.
I feel like I've talked to you before. This wasn't too bad.
Yeah, this is bizarro. I had Shane texting me the other day. Man, I got Ravi. I'm with Ravi. I'm with Damon. I mean, yeah.
Hey, listen, man.
I got nothing to do if you guys just want to hang on for. I mean, you got no guardrails here on this show.
None. I mean, people dropping expletives, and all our nickname guys are back, like Channel 3 Sean and Flaky Jake and the Lego Maniac and all the guys we dubbed early, man. Early.
Hey, Damon, because I know Ravi is getting on you about this. You ever going to fix that Twitter account?
I'm trying, man. At least Twitter is aware of it. Like, we're going back and forth. They're working on it. So they just keep telling me to be patient. So I'm going to be patient.
You mean you haven't gone in there and made a bunch of money off his crypto? Like you haven't bought the Escalade like he did?
Yeah, I went and did crypto. And then I saw last week crypto fell off a cliff.
Yeah, it's down like 50%.
Screw you, Damon. Thanks for the advice.
It's a buyer's market.
Oh, man. Good.
So hold on. Let me ask you this before we let you go. This is very important.
Yeah.
Which means it isn't.
It's incredibly important. All right. So if you're rolling up to a watch party.
No, he brought cookies.
Oh, Jesus.
Culprit.
Jesus Christ. This story is like 12 years old, and it gets embellished every single time. Okay, just go ahead. Go ahead.
Over again. Would you bring cookies?
Listen,
though?
I'm on Team Cookie. I'm on, like, everybody wants a sweet treat. Like, what are we doing here? I'm killing DB for this because he's like, oh, nobody. It's like, just because you don't like desserts doesn't mean nobody else in like the third quarter isn't like.
We got guys rocking with you, Franklin. They would bring cupcakes. I'm like, I'm not letting you in if you're bringing cupcakes.
I love you, Ravi, for standing up for the cookie. Okay, it wasn't even the black and white cookie. It was just the simple sugar cookie that people desire, but they don't want to admit it out loud.
It's a good cookie.
Yeah, the only thing I would do different about that night is I did bring some beer.
Yeah.
And
you'd leave it.
Well, but I took some of the beer back because your wife said that you guys would probably not drink it, and I'm like, I don't want to leave it here in case Lob sneaks into the fridge late at night. So
dude, he was like 5 then. If he did, I'd have to hit him in the face.
Well, father like son.
Wow. Very nice.
Yeah.
Team Cookie all the way. That's all I'm saying.
Thank you. Thank you.
Are you going to get to any high school hoops with this week's schedule with Omaha?
Yeah, Lincoln East West Side Thursday night. Huge game.
I know. How about North Star at the Heartland Hoops Classic?
Yeah, that was a great game. That Heartland Hoops Classic, that delivers every year out in Grand Island. They have such great fields. And how about Ogallala? Can Ogallala take what they do in January and February and do it in March?
Yeah, post my guy leaving. How about just stepping in for Gillen and not skipping a beat? And I get it, he was on staff, but that's a good win for Ogallala. And you saw Scott 10 days ago get Norris, which I know was
Yeah, it's going to be a great middle of March at PBA. By the way, Ravi, great job on Saturday with John on the Creighton game.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
It was okay.
Can't ever be nice to me, huh?
No. No.
I really enjoyed it. I think you guys, for the most part, kept yourself under control with Big East officials.
Ooh, yeah, there was a couple. There was a no charge call on Jason Green. I thought I might lose John.
Well, I think we should put side by side a Bishop rant compared to a Doug Godley rant after yesterday.
How about that, presser?
Yeah.
I know what it's like to get a tech. I didn't do anything that weren't in the tech. I was like, Doug.
Doug is but quietly though, he's rebounded off a horrendous last season. He's kind of righted the ship.
Yeah. Well, you get away from radio and you're successful, I guess. I don't know.
We're speaking into existence, Gary. Speaking into existence.
You and my bank account.
Still the same.
Gary, we appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. It's awesome. You guys do a great job. I enjoy it.
All right. Thanks, buddy.
That is the one and only Gary Sharp, Omaha basketball voice. They're having a good run. They're having a good run. We'll
pretty quick with it.
Hopefully they can continue it up in Sioux Falls for the Summit League Conference Championship.
How about League? Shane, I'm sending you that tomorrow.
He's did not get fired for cause, oddly enough.
Dude, K-State better be careful.
They're in danger of falling into purgatory, I think.
Better be careful because the Big 12 is just getting better.
Really, really good at basketball. It's a tough conference to be struggling in basketball in.
Yes, indeed.
There you go. That is the show for a Monday. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. It's Hurrdat Sports Live. We'll be back tomorrow.
See you. Have a good day. Love you.